head of the fire service. I said, what if you took a loan, since the process to get the budgetary allocation for yourself, a little. So what if you took a loan of $1 million, and then, and maybe you can disagree with me. Feel free to do so. What if you took a loan of $1 million and you decided to take 500,000 of that money to buy fire extinguishers, whether it's for the vehicles or for homes, and then also you had the rest of the 500,000. Maybe you went to buy smoke detector and maybe a few fire trucks. I don't know how much they're sold for, but I don't think they're sold for 100,000.
No, far more.
Far more?
Yeah, some of them 800,000.
800,000?
Yeah, because you built them. Spec.
Okay, so $1 million would be small.
Yeah,
but you could just buy fire extinguishers,
but Patrick,
and then you bring it here, and then maybe find a private company to do the selling, like license, like we do with license plates, and make it mandatory for everybody to have. Every house, every business, every vehicle should have a fire extinguisher.
But Patrick, you see, the one of the biggest challenges in dealing with fire is also the way our neighborhoods are structured. Let's assume, to the extent that even fire service has over 50 trucks. Let's assume. How do you even reach some of those homes in those neighborhoods? No alleyway, no way for those trucks to really penetrate the neighborhood, especially in places where those fires, are occurring. I was watching YouTube the other day, and I saw the Chinese. They have this innovation where they use drones now to fight fire. So those drones will carry the water hoses up, and then they will spray them, because the way to fight fire, especially at the home, may not necessarily be the same as you would in your car, because in the car, that it's starting from the engine. In your home, by the time you make up your mind, it's all over the place, smoke coming out, carbon monoxide. So there has to be that kind of innovation, there has to be some innovative way. And like you were saying, one of the lower.
Now we got you online. So you're looking at Stephen Johnson. Some of you haven't seen him in a long while. Yeah. Stephen is currently the deputy managing director for administration at the Civil Aviation Authority. I like that. Put the camera on him a bit. Go ahead.
So yeah, as I was saying, when you're fighting fire, it has to be innovative, because when you look at how our neighborhoods are structured, it's difficult for fire trucks to. And Patrick, one of the things we saw growing up was fire hydrants. We used to sleep in the fire hydrants in the. You don't see that anymore. Those fire hydrants provided fire service the opportunity to be able to get water from different locations, just immediately to deal with the fire. But you don't see them.
So what can we recommend to our colleagues at the Liberia National Fire Service?
I will recommend a few things.
Some homes don't even have exit routes.
No. Start with businesses first.
Businesses.
There has to be fire exits. So, for instance, you go to an entertainment spot, right? You enter. Just how you enter is how you're going to come out. In a likely event, fire breaks out there, you're in trouble. So you can start with that. Then, like you suggested, in the homes, you can get the carbon monoxide detector. You can get smoke alarms. Those are low-hanging fruit that you can start first. Since
I think I paid $15 US for one of the smoke alarms.
It's good, yeah, it's good, and especially the carbon monoxide, because
but I haven't heard it ring. Alarm yet, because at one point in time, maybe I need to take smoke and
when you're cooking, let's assume you're cooking and the food starts to burn. You'll see that it will pop up. Yeah, it'll pop up. Okay. Because it's sensitive to smoke.
Because I want to make sure that it's working.
Yeah, it's sensitive to smoke. But I think another thing also is awareness. There has to be a lot of fire jingles going out, telling people how to deal with fire incident. How they can make quick. Because one of the things also, the water we use to cut a fire, the instrument we use, may not necessarily be the industrial standard, because they have some chemicals they put in those.
But Stevie, let's call a spade a spade. Many people think that, we ain't get budgetary allocation, no budget. Budget is good, but publicity is better as well. Exactly. So what if the fire service people come out and say, okay, we will sponsor programs, or maybe we ask for airtime on these radio stations and just talk about awareness, man. to the public what to do. The first thing you need to do when there is fire. What's the first thing you need to do?
And Patrick, like for example, in the US, one of the careers a lot of Americans are proud of is to be a firefighter.
Mm-hmm.
Children grow up wanting to be firefighters. And the reason they see it, it has that kind of heroism to it. So people see fighting fire like Superman, see yourself like this superhero who is out there to help. So one of the things we can also do is, Patrick, we can establish a volunteerism way to fire. So let's say all of us can go and train as volunteer firefighters. We'll be in our community in the event where you have fire. These volunteers can take the initiative. So you go from community to community and train ordinary Liberians into becoming volunteers for fire service. So that is one way you can look at it. So instead of you just waiting for the fire service to come, you now have in the community people that are actually firefighters, but they're volunteers.
Okay, great. We've been joined by the Deputy Minister, the Ministry of Youth and Sports, Mr. Larama Yonton. Thanks for joining us. You woke up very late, I suppose. Yesterday evening wasn't easy with you. Larama morning. Okay, great. Yeah. I know. I didn't get that. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you.
Nice to have you here. How did it go last evening? Got away, Jack. Yeah.
I suppose all the blames are still.
They blame on him. But it's nice to have you here. We'll come to you to talk about what is it that you're doing with TVET.
Yeah.
The public needs to know. We also talk about the upcoming county meet.
Yeah.
The why held in April this time around. Usually it's December.
Yes.
So we want to know that. But let me come back to Stephen. Stephen, what's up with Civil Aviation Authority? How did you meet Civil Aviation Authority and what is going on there?
Terrible, Patrick, terrible. One of the most regulated sectors next to health is civil aviation.
Wow.
Because you don't have any room for error. But there are some basic intervention, for instance, just the how bloated the payroll, for example, is. In 2018, the CAA was at 80 employees.
So is it bloated payroll? I mean, sometimes you need to simplify.
Yeah, the payroll.
The people plenty on the payroll.
Plenty.
So 2018, when they put over how many? 80 persons.
80 persons.
And now?
Today we're almost 200.
200 freaking human beings on that payroll.
And 70% of that 200, you're in administration. The civil aviation is a technical place. A lot of people don't know the extent. We have on staff pilots, aerodromes, engineer. We have civil engineers. Those are the kind of technical
and the
skills.
200 can go to work every day?
We're figuring that out, but I doubt that office has the capacity to host 200 persons on a daily basis. I doubt.
So the manager on our payroll.
Exactly. It's the usual
They're
thing. But we're working on it.
But you are head of administration. If you're paying ghosts, then you should be held.
No. So what we instituted some immediate steps. So one of the first things I did as admin was we did new ID cards. I took delivery of that. You come to my office and sign for your ID. That is to also use physical count. This month we're going to pay with checks, not doing direct deposits. So we'll pay all of our employees using the checks. They will come physically and see. We institute the attendance. We'll do daily attendance, and then we'll do what we call timesheet. So part of what I wanted to see was how, when you come to work on a daily basis, what do you do? Mm-hmm. So we have them fill out every day you come.
Correct.
You tell me exactly what you did. So I came to work Monday. I did this. I did this. So that is for the week. I get that on Friday. So Monday I do the regular attendance all through the week, but that particular timesheet, because part of what I want to do is to be able to redo some of the TO hours. There are people who have TO hours that are doing and completely different thing, and then there are other people who cross-cutting in terms of what to do. And another thing is the issue of procurement. A lot of people want to get involved in procurement.
But with limited capacity.
Yes, and so
it's a skilled area.
It's a skilled area. You have to do supply chain management. You have to have the kind of technical skill to be able to do so.
Great. Okay, so still with him, Larama, you have a question for him. Let's pound him with all these questions. Because that's the essence of this show. By the way, people need to know the essence of this show. We call ourselves here, people in government. We call them here, and all of them will ask. All of us will ask the hard questions. So when I'm here, I'm in a hot seat. When it's my turn to answer questions, all these people will ask all the critical questions that people out there supposed to ask. So all the questions you got for the civil aviation, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
The flights. How many flights coming to Liberia
6.
now?
We have 6.
We got 6 flights coming.
Flights.
It doesn't look like 6 to me.
No,
we
6.
got Brussels.
We got Brussels.
We still got Morocco.
Kenyan Airway.
Kenya coming.
So Ethiopia still coming, right?
No, Ethiopia don't reach.
Oh, okay.
So Air France not coming. Air France stopped coming during the previous administration. Ethiopia stopped.
Not coming. Ethiopia not coming.
British Airways
used to come. Yeah. So before we are here, British Airways, Air France, all those flights were coming. But you see, so there is something that every 4 years, the International Civil Aviation Organization does an audit of your airport. For you to pass that audit, the minimum benchmark is 60%. 60%. The last audit that was done in 2022 placed us at 27. Now, the interesting thing, Patrick, is prior to that, we were at 16. We went to 27, right? Sierra Leone, for example, was at 16 along with us. Today, Sierra Leone is at 74. So one of the immediate steps we decided as a management team is to send a team to Sierra Leone by rule to learn the success story. So in the course of this month, we'll have a team go to Sierra Leone to sit down with the Sierra Leone Civil Aviation to learn as to what they did differently that we didn't do in 2022
Makes sense.
to fail the audit.
Makes sense, but that's not Larama. I don't think that's tangible. You know, you can see those theories, the people out there. But you have to say it to them before they. You know what I'm talking about? Tangible Larama would mean blinker. Different. New plane here.
That's true. But you have to put that.
Your airport can be scoring 27%. And when in the audit, they look at safety.
Yes, safety is a major issue.
They look at environmental concern.
So you want to improve on the grading this?
Exactly.
Yes.
So if we improve, we want to pass. That's our intent. We want to pass the audit. So that is why we've set up the technical team. We brought in the president appointed Tama. Tama has been with the civil aviation for over 13 years. He brings a wealth of experience. But until we're able to fix some of the issues that will make us to fail the audit, you cannot have. And another thing, Patrick, is airlines don't just go to countries because they have airports.
They must have the market.
The market, and there must be activity. For instance, the tourism.
You think we don't have
tourism industry, for example, has to
how many
boom.
people can fly, for example, first class.
My man, you exposed. Two of us will be asking them a question. You want to talk
But Patrick, I mean, for us to, for instance, if we're able, and another thing I was talking to somebody is Liberia is strategically located. We are 5 hours from South America, specifically Brazil. So from here to Brazil, 5 hours. From here to New York, 7-8 hours. From Ghana to New York, 10 hours.
So it means we can have direct flights.
So we're closer. We're closer to
But
New York.
Delta used to do direct.
Yes.
Delta used to go to Ghana first.
But it was direct flight. They'll just make a brief stop in Ghana to pick up. But I mean, that's how close we are. If we're able to improve the conditions at the airport, and I'm sure we're going to do that, then Liberia could be a commercial hub in 2 ways. In 2 ways. Either human commercial hub for human beings, or commercial hub for cargo.
Yeah, but it doesn't just come easily.
No.
Because not only that you need to improve the condition and make some passing grades, but also we need hotels.
Exactly.
Because if you're making this a hub, people come here,
they gotta sleep
it's a
somewhere.
transit place.
Yeah.
They gotta sleep
They
somewhere.
gotta sleep. If the plane not going over there, they gotta sleep. And then
So that's a
activity
process.
has to happen around the airport. You see, for
But
example.
we certainly need more flights coming in. Even if we have
But the good news
you say you had met with a South
we
African
met with the
ambassador.
South African ambassador, and one of the things we talked about was the possibility of South African airline coming here, and he was open to it. But one of his concerns was the market. How many Liberians or how many people from here will be going to places like South Africa?
Yeah, but you can pick up people from here, and
so you can just make it a hub.
then-
So
yeah.
you take people from everywhere and bring them here, or you could make this place a cargo hub. Not necessarily for
Cargo
him
hub,
with cargo.
yeah.
You build big warehouses, and you have flights bring the cargo here, and they use Liberia as a point to distribute.
So the 100 days we expect to see what?
So 100 days
for civil aviation.
Still,
My people, all the questions you got for civil aviation.
Part of our 100-day deliverable was the first thing was to get a low-hanging fruit was to even set up the board to nominate the board. The president has done that. In the last 6 years, there was no board.
Yeah, 6 years no board.
No board.
They got it too.
Then we were also able to set up the aircraft accident bureau. The president established that. Captain Weaver now is there. So you're seeing that in the first 100 days we were making, and just the low-hanging fruit, we about 80-90% of our employees don't even have access.
I want to ask a soft question.
Don't you have access to computer or desktop?
Excuse my ignorance. Don't laugh at me. I want to ask her. Besides Captain Weaver, we got different pilot there.
Yes, so that Phillips.
So how many pilots we have? Captain Weaver,
Phillips.
Because I made Captain Weaver.
The Mexico guy who sent to LAA. He's a pilot.
He's a pilot.
Yeah, Mexico. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I know of a young Liberian pilot that came with the one engine plane.
Yeah. But there are other Liberians. I have a friend, Zobatamba. He flies for Delta. He's a Liberian kid. He used to live on the road. He flies for Delta.
So how many pilots we have in total?
On staff?
Liberian pilots.
No, I wouldn't know that. No. But even there was his name, son.
Your son.
He flies for Delta.
Yeah. Okay, so Stevie and Marcel will now shift. We switch to the Ministry of Youth and Sports. All the questions you all have, and this is what we're going to be doing every other Saturday. We bring government officials here. We ask you the hard questions. We ourselves will ask ourselves the hard question. This is an unusual thing, first time heard of, for government officials to come, young government officials to come and scrutinize themselves. Come and tell us what you've been doing. If you're not doing anything correct, all of us will bounce on you and we'll make you to do the right thing. I'm waiting for the mayor to come. And you know we're talking to the mayor of Peace. I want you to come here too. But I think that's what we need to do, scrutinize ourselves, because these are the questions the public would want to ask. So Ministry of Youth and Sports, the county meet is up in this month, next Saturday, correct?
Yes, correct.
Why April, by the way?
Well, so two things happened. The first thing is that the government was in transition. President Boaga, then president-elect, was just president-elect, and so he asked the outgoing government to postpone the country. Usually it's December. So that was the phase of the transition. And graciously, former President Weah at the time, President Weah, saw the need to honor that request. Second thing is that it was placed in the 100-day deliverable, as you know. So there was a lot of reorganization placed around the county meet. As much as we see this as a national event where we bring our people together as a means of reconciling the country, but it's also a political event. Whenever we host county meet, the end goal is to score political points. So we needed to have all of the structure. For a lot of people out there don't know that the county meet is not just in the hands of the Ministry of Youth and Sports. It's also...
I don't understand. Yes. Steven, maybe you need to pick up from there. But I don't understand what he means by the end goal is to...
No. I mean,
you sure that's what you wanted to see?
No, to be honest.
Remember,
this is a political thing. It's a political thing, right? But what I want to say is that it's not just youth and sports. It's also done in collaboration with the Ministry of Internal Affairs. So you have to have all of the superintendents in place and everything.
We still don't have all of the superintendents.
Exactly, but we have most of them at this point. So we can work with what we have, and still get the kind of result that we want out of the county meet. But so just to the short of the long, to answer your question, why April, is that all of the delays were because of the slow pace of the appointment of superintendents. We had to push it from December to a suitable time in this year.
I'll come back to you. A quick question here for Stephen. Stephen, a quick question for you. Somebody says Liberia needs to build another airport, or to consider building another airport, and to have a large land space alone in Kakata and Is that something I know it's going to be cost intensive? The last airport, so the terminal billion.
Yeah.
That's not the airport. So it was just a terminal. The Chinese built.
Yeah, but if you see the RIA, for example, it has a lot of vacant land going left of that building.
But
So the
people
way
encroach on all.
no. In the airport vicinity, people going towards the left of that building, you have a lot of land. So the way they do airport is as the population, the air traffic population begin to increase, they expand. So if you look at, for example, like JFK in New York, right? You go there every night, then you see extension. So they just create new gates. You know, you build a new airport. What you essentially will do is you're just going to take away flights from Ralphie and bring them to that new airport. You're not going to bring in additional plane because you build a new airport. So, for example, they come to me like,
is that something you want to agree with?
Yeah.
What if you decided to build? Let's debate this. What if you chose to build? What if the government decided to improve on the airport in Happo? So Happo is closer to where? Abidjan, Ivory Coast, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we already know the constraints in getting via road to those areas. So you think it'd be necessary to have maybe, and Ghana is also closer to Ivory Coast.
So what you gonna do? You're gonna take air from Ralphie, you'll be landing on Asa.
No, you can take air from Abidjan and land in Happo.
Yeah, so they stop going.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't stop. You can have one flight going around and one.
Patrick, there are several things that bring people to your country.
Mm-hmm.
Like you see, Lama talked about the counter meet, right? If we are able to build some of our tourism infrastructure around the counter meet, for example, we can bring in a lot of people. For example, you saw during the inauguration, how many persons came to Liberia? They fly. You know, there were a lot of space in Lima. You travel also during that time. You saw how the passenger rate increased. Mm-hmm. So let's say we say counter meet, and we say, since this is a counter meet, let's make it a national event that will bring people from the diaspora here to participate. So we're not just looking at playing sports, but that will involve a whole number of other activities. We can have the Dumbo Festival. We can have the Tobogi Festival. We can have the Pamboto Festival, the Kasawali Festival. So you what you see happening in that counter meet now is not just people go SKD, play football and go home, but then at every levels in the country, everybody involved. You know, all these events will attract people. So you maybe that will even force us to move the counter meet from, let's say, January to July, where it ties in with the 26th celebration. You know, everybody
yeah. And I agree with you. I think this was one of the conversations that Mr. Cole Bangalu had with Giuliani. You say what you like about how or not. Most recently, is to tie the content meet to a kind of cultural festivity. It may not happen at this content meet, the current content meet we're about to host, but the one in December we are working, exceedingly to make that happen, where all of the counties come and display, the different cultural artifacts, different thing that that represent them, a kind of symbolic representation of who they are, what made them, what they are, and I think it'll go a long way, because they're not just doing that, but they are part of the competition of the county meet. And so at the end of the day, you have, let's say, for example, Lofa wins the county meet, we give them the trophy, right? As far as the cultural aspect of that, we have these 15 counties, competing in that way, and at the end of the day, one county wins the cultural aspect of the county meet. So we're trying to infuse that for this county meet. Maybe the finals of it, we have some display of that, and we saw that with the inauguration, that there was a float. Julia had built this float with 16 out of the 15 counties and the 16 tribes. All of them had a special float, depicting what the county is about in the different symbolism. So
county meet starts next Saturday, the 14th.
Yeah.
At the the first game will take place at the Samuel Kayando Sports Complex.
The kickoff, yes.
The kickoff, Samuel Kayando Sports Complex.
Yeah.
It'll be Montserrado and
Yes.
Montserrado and Bapulu at the Samuel Kayando Chineke. Montserrado, but
Yes.
Montserrado that display country. Barre all over Montserrado. Anyway, boy,
But I can cheer. I cheer 4 counties. I'm not born Montserrat. That's the reason, Patrick. I cheer 4 counties.
Oh, you were not born Montserrat.
No.
I was born Montserrat, but I'm originally from.
I was born in Bon County.
Oh.
I was born in hospital.
But it may not be at this payment.
Remember Basa?
I was born in Bon hospital. So
Grew up in Montserrat.
So we've been joined by the
my
mayor.
mom was born in, so I got 4 counties.
We've been joined by the mayor of the city of Painesville, the big man in studio right now. This is the guy. I want all of your MPs with the city of Painesville. You're coming start asking you all kind of questions about the cleaning up because you know sanitation is part of the arrest.
Yeah.
So we got to ask them plenty hard questions. But let's see what you've exposed. So Saturday we expect to go on a few. Next week Saturday, we expect to go on a few at the SKD. The president will be there to do the kickoff.
Yes.
The chief patron of sports will do the kickoff. The last counter mid final was between
I think Lofa and Nima.
the whole Republic of Lofa and Nima.
Lofa won.
No, they made a management with the mango. But it was between the whole Republic of Lofa and Nimba. And that was interesting because the county meet came on the heels of the election year.
Yeah.
So the fee was jam-packed that day. One side green.
Yeah.
One side went green. The other side went.
Lofa won it, right?
Lofa did not win.
Nima won it.
Nima won.
So Nima won the county meet more than any other county.
Nima has won the county meet.
Yeah.
Nima have won
More than most.
The
I think-
highest?
Yeah. I think next
So
to
they're not going to win it this time
I
around.
think next to Nima than my county. Answer.
You even know we county. You were born in Bon County. You were here in Montserrat. In Basso. And which other place again?
My mom from Bon
And the
County.
men voted in Nima. The men going vote for the second election in Nima. All that Nima vote are still in there. No, but so it was interesting because that county meet was between Nima and Lofa, and you could see that the fee was jam-packed.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, then we saw a Nima Lofa presidential ticket.
Exactly. I had a conversation with somebody at LFA. That kind of momentum we see in the county meet, is it possible for us to fashion our national league after the county meet? That kind of same momentum where we say instead of us having these smaller community teams fighting for resources, we say each county produce a team, and then we maintain maybe the 4 traditional team, Barrow, IE, Oilers, MPA in the league. We have 15 county, 20 teams.
Makes sense, but don't you, gentlemen, let's talk about this. And maybe for 5 minutes. And
So let's say Grand Bassa Warrior is playing
Lofa
Sano Lion.
Lion. Sano Lion. Easy.
Yeah, with a PC
When the
Lion.
Lion in the
So
town.
the way in our football, you have a structure. You see communities of the team. Sheffield United,
Newcastle.
City, Newcastle, Manchester, Real Madrid, Barcelona. Those are city teams.
Yes.
Yeah, but you think that's going to be effective here?
Yes.
But the way
it
the
will.
momentum I see in the county meet, if we can replicate that in our national league, I think maybe we'll make football.
So who will sponsor those counties? Who will sponsor those teams?
They cannot be in the budget.
Yeah.
In the county budget, all
Yeah.
businesses in the county.
Even
It cannot be
if it's not in the budget, at least they will have identity.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
football and sport is followed by identity.
So Rewajina fan.
The people who are watching,
But people say the rains haven't really started yet, even though it's coming small.
Yeah.
Heavy storm that came in a few days.
Oh, yeah.
That's so.
Heavy storm that came these few days, but the rains are coming down gradually. And this county meet, we hope that the rain can give us more chance so that we can conclude. So the certain games will be played. Montserrat is using this as a home ground,
Yeah.
so games will be played at SKD regularly
Yes.
this time around.
Yeah.
And then in the counties, the zone of death is Lofa, Grand Bassa, and Margibi. And those games will be played in Cac City. Then you also have Bon County, you have Riverses, you have Nimba, and you have Grand Cru. Those games will be played in Nimba County.
I will be there on the 14th.
I go in Nimba.
I don't see Bonkante.
No. I'm from Sino.
Oh, you
I'm
want
from the
so
Southeast.
who's on Sino in?
Sino is in the
River G.
River G.
Oh, the River G.
Yeah.
Yeah, Grand Baby Maryland.
Mhm.
Sano,
Yeah.
Sano, but you know, most of our players in the 80s used to come from the county meet.
Yes.
Anthony Topa, for
Yeah.
example, the goalkeeper Anthony Topa,
Yeah,
I mentioned
most
for
of the
Lower country.
John Double.
But that's what Steven was talking about. When you set up the county league as a national league in that form, you encourage people in all of this era. We used to be in Bournemouth. Bon Range was a very strong team because of the identity of the player.
And so I will get replicate what happened in the 80s, because in the 80s, we did not do it by county. They had a county meet separate from the national league. Yet the national league was strong. People used to go on the field to watch games.
Because teams
But
have
you know why it was strong? You know why it was strong? There were layers. There were different layers of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you had the inter high school, ISA, right? Inter High School Sports Association League, right? And a lot of players from the high school league were being recruited at the time for division, because I think that the most we have. So out of second division, first division, we didn't have Premier League at the time.
I mean, another thing that was not successful. Everything that happened before the war. Look at IE. I supported IE before. As big as we consider IE, they don't even have a practice page.
No.
They don't have any infrastructure. Go to Asset Mimosa. I live in Africa during the war. Asset is owned by the Marketing Association.
Exactly.
Look at the way you're talking about your friend, you feel spoiled. Come to peace.
No, I'm talking about the football infrastructure. No. I'm talking about the football infrastructure. If we do it, I'm from Bonkante originally. Anything you do, I will support Bonkante. I will put my resources there. And
I think it makes sense, man.
It will be.
I think it makes sense.
That's why Barrow and I is struggling.
Yeah,
Because the model upon which these teams were established was
individual.
By the time the man is an official government, it's Barrow president. By the time he goes broke, Barrow done.
So Mo Ali, I know you following us. You wanted to. We send a link to you guys. I mean, all the guys there. You can join us. Just click the link and join, gentlemen. Let's open the line for five calls, and we'll come back to all of us just on this thing, whether it is necessary, because we have a deputy minister at the Ministry of Youth and Sports. We have to come to the point where we do not only talk about these things, but actions have to be taken. That is why Joe Braga put all our in position.
Exactly.
So all the smart ideas we have, how do we practicalize those things? So maybe that's an idea you could raise up with your team at the Ministry of Youth and Sports, and I'm sure they could have a symposium or workshop or public hearing. I don't know how you call it, so people can come and talk about this.
But the biggest problem of that is the NFA, because those guys that own the small thing, they say they are not want to allow.
No, but you can't.
No, man.
Small thing. They have in the LFA. They got Nima United.
Yeah.
And they got Nima United.
Nima United.
So they can just use Nima United.
Yeah, but the guys,
But they got Nima Kwado.
They got Nima Kwado.
Yeah, they get this, they get Wakanga, all those people, they are stakeholders in the LFA. They deal with FIFA, they get the small thing, and they're the ones supposed to vote to change that decision.
Exactly.
And they are not going to do it. So it needs a hard decision to be taken.
But the public can pressure, especially with the moment, because the county meet is really a bastion to emulate.
The reason people go to Manchester United game is because they are from that city. They feel attached to the thing.
So I feel attached to Manchester away.
Yeah, because of the way the people have brand their but go to Ashanti Kotoko in Kumasi, when they play game, it looked like how
Ashanti Kotoko versus the Boise go feed
go Accra has a whole.
Yeah. They put in the TRL cities because now it become the community team.
I said,
let's say
it's owned by the marketing association.
You see, so it's different.
I think
the point is the community. That's not the point.
No, the same point you make.
After it's owned by a generation of people. After get one of the very functioning football academy in Africa, and one of the best.
I would say this, right? And
let's we've been joined by Robert Wilson. Let me see whether Robert Wilson is here. Robert Wilson, you got to put your webcam on. Robert, are you there?
I'm here, Patrick. I'm here.
Okay, welcome, my man. What's up?
Thank you very much. I don't want to use the camera. I'll use a little, but I'm a little bit tearing that I don't want to use camera. But
you swallowing some of those BBGB, eh?
And I used to know the whole, they take full picture and they put it all over. My beginning is very wicked. I see the poor using that picture it took 2 years ago. I see that you see that give me now. The thing is that they feel they know say you and Gene now with take full pictures or secretly. Then you start posting it and thinking that if you did that picture was taken. But now was standing, I enjoy the program, following it, and the debate is good. Come back to the people, let them know who their officials are, let us discuss the issues, open the lines, let the people express themselves. Today is the opening program. Next hour, they're going to be a big one. We're going to introduce a lot of stuff. The students should get ready to answer questions. Those people will categorize it. The people from elementary, junior, senior high, take your pen and paper next Saturday. You are going to win prizes. You have some of the portion of your school fees that you paid or in full. Just how you answer these questions, you are going to get a lot. So, Patrick, yes, there's a good initiative. The next one are going to be in studio live.
No, but you got to be on that. You're supposed to be in studio. So just remain on the show because I won't ask you about the
I'm saying next time we'll be in studio. The next time I'll be in studio live.
So we'll ask you some questions about the asset recovery. Yeah, but just hold on here. All I will ask, we asking about the sports business first. Let's take some calls. Hold the lines, gentlemen. Let's take 5 calls just on this sports thing, and then we'll come down to the Painesville City Corporation, and then we come to you from GSA, also the asset recovery, and then hopefully Mo Ali will be on the line. Hopefully Baka Jaliba will be, and Cornelia also, and the rest of the others will join us. So you can call us if you want to talk about sports. You want to talk about the county meet that is starting Saturday. Which county do you represent, and all of that? Robert Wilson, which county do you represent?
My man from San Gio. Major small Maryland.
But you can switch too much, oh.
The man for TD County. My man, I never switch. My man, due to the demarcation of that South Iran River GNT, we left from portion of Maryland, went small into River G. So I say, my man from Sano, my pa from River G, small portion with Maryland. We will enter you.
Oh, no, not the enemy. I'm begging you.
My man, some of your family link to Seredu and Guinea. Don't be all go there.
I agree. We agree. And we say we agree. We agree. 0778665699, 0778665699, and 0880561644. Again, 0880561644. Let's take the first caller. Okay, so the caller is on the line. Morning. Morning, how are you?
I'm fine, I'm looking good.
Oh, you fine? You looking good? Oh, can you all hear him?
Yes.
Robert, can you hear him?
Absolutely, I'm hearing. Somebody can be
Very
fine,
well.
still not be good. The man say he fine, good. Somebody can be fine, still not be good.
Oh, he said
have
he's
you ever
fine.
seen
He's looking
someone-
good.
Oh yeah, you can still he fine. You can still be fine, still not be looking good. That somebody look around air conditioner car and still sweat. You know that? Patrick, I'm not getting anything again while my internet was.
I'm so hard.
I know that come to brother, man.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's go back to the phone line and pick another caller. Hello. Morning. Do we have another call on the line? Yes. This one. Hello, 0776 0778665699. We've been joined by Bwaka Jaliba, Vice National. My man, they position. National Oil Company of the Republic of Liberia local. PJ, what's up? Welcome. You gotta come closer to him. What's up? Welcome. Great. Thanks for joining. You want to chime in a bit on this whole county meeting in the National League? Does that make sense to you?
Well, that has been a debate for a long period of time now. People think that one of the ways to be able to do that is to buy in. That has always been an issue. If you look at the what I refer to as the model being used in Europe, most of these teams that we support come from cities, from boroughs. You hear about Middlesbrough, you hear about Manchester United, Manchester City, for Manchester. And so even if those teams lose by 7-0, tomorrow morning you still have a group of people, still supporting Manchester United. So let's take for example, and I will take the example of your county, Lofa. There's so many Lofa goes against Cape Mount, and Lofa loses to Cape Mount by 5-0. You tomorrow morning that doesn't stop from being a Lofian. So automatically, so that's the entire
but
model of footballing.
It never used to happen like that, and it still used to be successful. They had NEC. NPA anchor. NPA anchor.
Yes, but nowadays, Patrick, one of the things that you see is that these teams are now owned by, they have private owners, and so that nexus that existed between the teams and the fans. These days, I mean, we sort of see a new model. Also in pricing national team associations. I mean, not national team association per se, but club teams, and so that hasn't really sunk in with the entire public. Well, I have always argued that the way to be able to do football here is to go back to the fundamental models, to be able to have community participation in terms of footballing, and see our best to be able to have people come in. Assuming that you have something like around Cape Mount United. So I want to watch a Cape Mount United that game. So they assume that even if 4-5-0, I still want to watch a Cape Mount United game. So so I think those are models that you have to think about, and that's the way to go, I think.
Okay,
Yeah.
so let's.
Patrick, let me just add
go ahead.
right? Now you see what we had in the 80s was a unique model.
I'll come back to you. Let me see whether I can take this one quickly. I'll come back to you. Morning.
Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Stephen. Good morning to people. Welcome, Jaliba. This is Ivan Samokai. I call you from Ghana.
We're talking about the county meet, and we also talked about the Civil Aviation Authority. What do you want to speak on quickly? Mean that the county meet we're right now.
Yes, I've been following, and I'd like to say a very big thank you. At the beginning of everything, there will be the huge criticism. Until it's successful, then you see people want to associate with it. I just want to say a very big thank you to the team for this brilliant idea. As it relates to the subject being discussed, I think to fix things, it is good, but also you want to ensure that you don't fix it by creating another problem. What I'm saying in short is, I think that the country meet festivity can still remain as we try to build our national league around counties also. So you don't want to, because the country meet is just a short festival, so it has that flavor. So you want to also maintain and ensure people, because football is business. You don't take that business from private individuals where they can make money. People should make money from football.
Okay. LPRC oil, LPRC, LPRC oilers. You don't want LPRC oilers leave it. Something, eh?
No, you will keep the traditional team. IE oilers and
Football is
MPA.
business. People make money from football. So you want to
Yeah. Okay.
What I was saying
go
is
ahead
that
before I take two
when
more,
we
you'll come back
when
to
we did football in the 80s, it was more of a passion.
look at him when we did football.
You are born in the 80s.
I'm talking about, when we did football.
Steven, Steven, and the one boat to a story.
I played in the National League with support staff. I played 4 games, 4 goals.
4 games for such a feat.
Go bring a player card.
And anything has no data, no
Agree. Go.
yeah, no record on you.
I have a call. I want to go to the US. I'll come back to you. Can't talk about who we're doing football. Hello, morning.
Hey, Patrick, good morning.
Good-
Thank you for the program.
Good morning. Go ahead.
And I'm calling from France this morning.
From France. Go ahead.
Patrick, I think the program is unique. Thank you for the brilliant idea, but we need to work on the internet because it keeps ticking. So we go off and come back in, go off and come back in. I think it's the internet.
So when it comes to me, I mean, I'll test you, but we'll work on the internet. We'll try our best. Yeah, we'll try our best. We'll work on the internet.
Patrick, find the screen yard.
Yeah, definitely.
Find the screen yard.
Definitely. Okay, thank you. Thank you so kindly for joining us all the way when you were playing
Yes.
football. I
So,
played third division football in the country.
I play up.
So I
one good story.
played good football in the country.
I got a story. Left the hospital.
They've been left the other night when they see
Yeah,
us go the last one.
One Iboto story.
No,
It's a real story, but Bapu rated told
I'm happy. When you go to a real man, won't say
The guy name is Wanibo.
one
The last name is Sto. So Liberians just
yeah, one
so-
Iboto.
Yeah. But the way he died, that story is
Yeah, the
not
whole
good.
story is confusing.
Why is that? Let's go.
No, that happened. He got sick and died in the hospital.
But the thing is very important I want to say
Yeah.
is that this is my first time in doing radio interviews after like 4 or 5 years. And so I've been completely out of the radio, and I've heard about Joseph Sokokane. My first time seeing Joseph Sokokane. So it tells you how long I've been out of the radio, and when you work in the corporate environment, you sort of right. I mean, some of your rights, of course. In the kind of big corporate society, you have a media spokesperson or media spokespeople to be able to deal with that. And so I would be a little bit rusty at the start, but as we go along, I can be able to join the likes of Steven and Larama, who have been for the last 2 years. Been very involved with the things around the class we look at, and so I mean it's always a good beginning. And when you had this thing advertised on radio, it received a lot of criticisms. People think that information and fun. Why do we want to play fun now? We're not playing fun. We say we play a little fun, and to be able to have it, jumble up with information if you just share it. So I'm to do that kind of things I want to do now, and we just hope that there will be 4 starts as we go along. But as we move along, I was just talking to Dr. Nuta from the Minister of Agriculture.
Great.
He has agreed to come.
Okay.
Once he's informed earlier, he'll come and share some of the thoughts with you. I was talking to Madam Bemi Horace Colley,
Very good.
the Minister of Gender. I talked to her this morning, and she also shared with me some of the issues around the social cash transfers.
Okay.
In terms of new safe houses for
And still having kids selling on the street. That's not right now.
yeah. And they have this innovation programs with the Liberia Children Parliament talking to parents of children who sell on the street. So all these kinds of big programs will come in at some point in time, and we just be able to share with us some of the things that they're doing. I think the public needs a lot of information. We haven't been able to provide that. And if I all want to do things differently, people have to see us communicating and to be able to see us as being this difference as we move along the curve.
Makes a lot of sense, Waka. Thanks for setting the basis. We've been joined by the Deputy Director General at the the CSA, Civil Service Agency, Darlington. Darlington, welcome. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Great. Nice to have you in. So let's shift our attention and
Patrick, just before you shift your attention, we were talking about the issue of the county meeting.
You
and
can
it is my hope that we can restrict ourselves to the momentum. The meet, I think it's next Saturday.
You play ball too?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we play together.
Yeah.
Your goalkeeper, eh?
No,
He can- he can-
I also play in.
Let's go. In fact, actually,
Oh, but whatever the case is, I think one of the problems we face in Liberia is not the lack of ideas, it's the issue of spending money in research. When the game is coming into having a downturn, there's a need that we allocate some resources to people who are in the business are supposed to do a lot of research and then
Do we need a lot of research
we
to,
need
to
research,
understand why our
almost
sports?
everything. And that's the difference between we and the people in Europe. When there are problems, even in other part of Africa, when there are problems in a particular area, you need to pay the expert to sit down and understand.
So what's your interest in this?
So
You
our
want to find
interest-
out what's happening with
Our
the youth,
interest,
and you want to
our
spend money on
interest
it.
is that you need to spend on research. What are the problems? What used to be, in the 80s and the 80s and the early 2000s?
Isn't that something all of us know?
I think.
You don't know?
Let me just add that.
No, basically, when it comes to the county, I'm from Sino. My father is from Sino. My mother is from Grand Gita. But I, like Steven said, I was born in Lamco, Yekipa.
Oh,
But yeah,
Where?
so, but like I was saying, most of those things require research. But let us draw a momentum on the next week county.
so which county are you going to support?
I'm supporting Sino and Grand Gita.
When last you pay any money to sign up?
I haven't paid money to the team. And that is the reason why I said the issue of the momentum need to be created. Now that we have this county meet on our graphs, this is the first time I know the challenges, especially as it relates to the raining season, and that most of the counties haven't had superintendents and their local structure in place that drive the momentum for each of the county. But I think we need to use this medium to be able to encourage the county.
The first the kickoff is next Saturday, Montserrado and Bapolo at the Samokayando Sports Complex. But this group, this team, along with all of our other colleagues who may be following, can shift the narrative. That is why all of us have positions of trust right now. And if we don't do it now, then when? So we're saying that two ways. We have our colleague from the Ministry of Youth and Sports. Do we consider integrating the county meet to that of the National League?
No.
And if there are challenges, what are the challenges and how can we?
But let us let go of the National League and let us focus on the. Maybe we'll have another time that we can be able to talk about the two. But let us build a momentum for the.
As luminous of the Ministry of Youth and Sports, my best sponsor there. I was there for 6 years under my Sally.
Mo Ali is on the line. Mo, go ahead. You're live.
Where is
Yeah,
it?
morning, Patrick. So, firstly, I want to say thanks to every one of you in the program. In my absence, I truly appreciate all of you. I wanted to come on this morning, but then I have this project that I need to complete before 12 noon to submit to the EPA, and so I have to concentrate on that. But I can assure you, the next edition I will be in the studio. I am following live, and you guys are doing great. I just wanted to come in 1 minute on the issue of transforming the county league to a national league. I don't think that is a plausible or workable solution in Liberia. I think people are attracted to the county meet because it is a one-off in a year event. When you make it very regular, people will lose interest and it won't just work like it is working in Europe. So I think it should remain the way it is, one-off in a year, and improve on of the county meet. Thank you.
You think it should do you all agree with Ali? Stay on the line.
I disagree.
Stephen disagrees. Go ahead.
I do agree with Ali. Well, let's
hear your disagreement.
The reason I disagree is
Ali, can you hear him?
There has to be a business model. There has to be a business model upon which football is built. And that business model, one of the lowest hanging fruit in that business model is for the counties to own their teams. That's the lowest hanging fruit. That way, the team now has an identity. If you notice, football was powerful in the 80s, 90s, when teams came from communities. For example, Exodus, Genesis, those were community teams.
Bame, where Bame?
Bame, for the communities. Those teams were owned by the communities. Those teams were owned by the community.
Yeah.
If you
let's hear Ali.
Ali, let me learn on this.
Ali, Stephen wants to learn.
From the example that Stephen, okay.
Go ahead, Ali.
Let me learn this,
Stevie.
If you remodel football and say each county produce a team, and we'll have 15 teams, right? And then we'll maintain the 5 other traditional teams, i.e. Barrow, MPA, Olos, Leska, because those are traditional teams. And let watch football grow. Because Liberians identify more with their tribe than as Liberians. If you look around, go across the world, Liberians feel more connected by tribes than the fact that
it worked before. Yeah, Ali, come in, Ali. Yeah.
You see, Stephen has given examples that are falling short. For example, he talked about teams that were backed by communities. Those teams no longer exist because the people lose interest. They do not have the capacity to continue things. When you have a county meet that is a one-off event, people plan for it over the period of time. And so they are able to make contributions. Liberia is not such an affluent society where you say people will be able to go on the football field week in, week out to support their team. They do it with the country.
Yeah, go ahead.
So Liberia was an influential affluent society before the war?
No,
it wasn't.
People spend more money watching European soccer.
So
I think I suggest that this discussion
I agree. I agree. Because as I said earlier, that
we can build a momentum, but I think there's also
around that.
Ali, I'll give you a chance to land. I'll give you a chance to land. This is going to be a big debate. So next Saturday, since the county meet starts next Saturday, we'll debate this next Saturday.
Patrick.
Yeah, just land quickly. Yeah. Go ahead.
So like Baka Jaliba said there will be 4 start, and I saw when we posted the flyers, people took issue because there was fun. Look, nobody comes on the radio, sit for 2-3 hours, and you don't interspice serious information with little fun to make people glue to the program, to make people to laugh. Normally, when we get together, we make some fun, but the information we are giving is very viable, is good for us, and it is also intended to communicate the successes and challenges of our government. And so information fund is not just to come and sit and make fun. We want to listen on Saturday so that they can understand and know what we are achieving and what we are falling short of and what are the challenges. And we'll also be there to listen to the recommendations and suggestions from the public. That is the reason why we have this. We'll be hard on ourselves first because we want to achieve. Thanks to every one of you who are in studio and those on the line. Let's continue this.
Brilliant thoughts, Ali. Thank you so much, and keep following. Robert Wilson, you have something to say quickly?
Yes, I have something to say, Patrick. I differ with Stephen. You know, if we evolve new footballing in Liberia, I believe that we should have the country meet should continue on a one-time basis per year. I also believe that to reintegrate football, it's for teams to also come from the counties. For example, if Lamunde will come from Monserrado, Barmen come from Nima, but then the county needs to still go on. When the county meet come, those teams from Nima join, put the players together. If they meet the regulation, they will all go back, support that one time a year.
Would you say the fan base? Don't you think the fan base will be divided? Don't you think the fan base will be?
But even in London, there are 3-4 teams that can come from London. I'm saying if you get 3-4 teams from Nima, no problem. From different counties, we got a team originating from the county, but I believe that the county meet should be once every year where everybody will jointly go behind their county, but then different teams will come from Ganta, will get a team, Sacramento will get a team, Sunny Quelle, and we bring football back. But the county meet I support, they want once a year, something is really good.
Okay, thank you, Robert. Keep on the line. Now let's come to the studio and get your thoughts, and then we'll come to the Pingsville. Let's
the thought I was trying to land on, right, is that.
And this is the Deputy Minister of Youth and Sports for TVET. Go ahead.
In the 80s, we saw football from a passionate level. Now, there are a lot of evolution that's taken place between that time and now. Now, football is purely business. People invest into it to get return on revenue. That's why when you see Arsenal losing game and losing throughout the league, but at the end of the day, based on the investment of players,
you want for the debate line. I don't want to example you get. That is not saying that they give an example.
I'm not losing.
The man was spotted.
News Manchester.
Arsenal keep losing games. Arsenal keep dropping for the table. They keep dropping.
But even if we do it on the community level, right? In Manchester City, you have Manchester United, you have Manchester City, right? It doesn't spoil anything to have two teams from one community if we want to do it from the community perspective. But we have to reach to the point where we are seeing football as a business, where people are investing in it and getting return from it.
Okay,
we don't have a lot
about the other issues.
We don't have a lot of, with the people in
so we're going this way. You any thought, or then we move on to the other two?
For me, like I said, we can come up with all the brilliant ideas, but we need the Ministry of Youth and Sport needs to set up a committee, not just football, but sports across, and to have a research team to find out what are the problems and how we can move forward and give support.
Robert? Yes, man.
Yeah, I think we are saying the same thing. We have to build the momentum for the content meet. But what this thing have been said years upon years, the youth and sport don't want to release a content meet because I was at internal affairs before. I know small money in there.
Internal
affairs and youth and sport runs the content league. They both of them receive the proceeds. The FA one day
and they share it.
So they both of them receive it, they share it, they do what they want to do.
No, and I see up that. No, don't say they're gonna do what they want to do.
I'm giving you the secret behind the content league. LFA 1 day 2 because they get hard get in.
That
is the private. They are not looking at football development. Here is the problem. Here is the solution here. We go to what Stevie is talking about. Every country have a team to fill in the National League. Set up a criteria. Those little teams that can meet that criteria, you have to have a football fee, a bank account, a private pay. This you drop by yourself. You drop, and then because I'm from Bon County originally. I would support, but I can buy I put in for my Bon County t-shirt. I support IE before the war. I can buy IE t-shirt. To do what
t-shirt now?
Yeah. I support. In Bon Mines, I support. Lofa Bridge. Yeah. Bochas was my owner side there. So we live in Botota together with Bocha. He was my owner side there. I support Lofa Bridge. Where is Lofa Bridge today? I suppose I tell Mimosa for Butchers too.
Your prediction for the county meet this year? Who you think is going to?
Boncante and Monserrato final.
Now what you think, eh? Yeah.
Boncante and Monserrato final.
All right. Now what you think, eh?
Now what going to happen?
Be there. Yeah, you came out, man.
Just a couple of things. I agree with Darrington that we need to this R&D for anything we do, research and development, just to be able to know what the size are, big data. If right from there, if you have the facts in terms of the evidence, you can be able to use the evidence to be able to see where you want to go with like in soccer. I think that the idea that this football being business is like America saying that they showing that in Afghanistan there should be democracy in Afghanistan. There are some regions where people should be able to leave that when they give Hamas the chance to be able to elect their first set of the people in Palestine the chance to be able to elect leaders.
Coming from the other
people elected Hamas. When Egypt when they won the election, the first time to have election, they went and chose the entire place called the Brotherhood. So I'm asking is that let's do the research, right? Let's do the research and then have the evidence to be able to proceed. And another thing, just as I said, I'm the luminous of the Ministry Youth Sports. So we have now changed it now for county meet. So we refer to it as the National Sports Meet. I mean, there were a lot of other indications that you're going to say that.
Okay.
And because of the political nature of the National Sports Meet, that's why you have the Ministry of Internal Affairs. And I just lastly on this sports meet thing, I even suppose in terms of my experience, we used to get more money from staging the games at ATS than the SK Sports Complex. And it really is simple. Because of the controlled environment at the ATS, right? Yes.
The kids limited.
The kids are limited, and just to be able to get through immediately, it has to be at a control environment. The way how SKD is, as soon as you jump out that first fence,
you're in a stadium.
The likelihood of being in that stadium is very high. So a lot of people can be there, right? A lot of people will be in that SKD. You don't pay a cent. And so we have to look at like for in other
for national games.
Yeah. Even rampant doing the national game because all the officials go there with they don't pay anything. They just go through VIP. So I'm just saying to you that one of the things that we have to do with the Ministry of Sports is that if that place is the place that we have to go and watch the games at the SKD, there has to be some control environment. That SKD were built way back in the 80s, right? And football has modernized. Yeah. I mean, it has transformed. There has been a lot of transformation around football, and so there has to be a way in terms of control measures to be able to get to the stadium. But yeah,
metal detector.
Yeah,
before you enter the field, you gotta go through.
Don't you guys think it's high time now that we get another complex, another sports?
Yes,
maybe in Bon County, since Bon County, Liberia. So it can be easy access for the people in Nimba, Lofa, Margibi, and also Montserrat can jump in there.
I want to see Chelsea play AC Milan. The way the kind of security measure before you even reach to your seat. You know what I SKD? You know, God forbid somebody went down there with weapon.
The real government.
Yeah, they're gonna cause chaos. Yeah, there has to be some kind of control measure.
Yeah. I was in Rio, 2012 when this guy was being unveiled by Botafogo, Clarence Seedorf. He had just gone to Brazil, just to be able to that unveiling ceremony at the stadium, right? That is just the kind of control measure. But yeah, for SKD, everybody can move SKD.
Yeah, but now they have bulletproof for the VIP.
Yeah,
but it's not enough.
The main issue is around the field.
All right, gentlemen, we have somewhere around 22 minutes left. Let's go to Painesville. Yeah, 2 hours. We said 2 hours.
We took a long on this.
Yeah, we
Let's send a program. Patrick, we didn't extend the program. Can you give me another hour?
As a recovery.
What we want to do about budgetary constraint when I allow us.
Okay, all right. So let's move on. And if one year putting a video about Honnah laugh. No, but now Painesville, gentlemen, and Robert, as I called you this morning, I was sorry, but driving through Painesville of recent, I have seen a lot of garbage, Robert. This is our government.
That's true.
You are the one the president put to be the mayor of Painesville. Can't tell us and the Liberian people what you're doing about those. In fact, people through a truck was passing and the dirt, I think they were having dirt and they just, I think the truck, the sunny slag and the dagger wasted and nobody cares about that. So we want to find out what is going on.
Patrick, you're right. And since we took over, since January, the only place for the movement of garbage for our country, the landfill at Wintown have been on fire. And because
on fire,
have been all on fire, the management of the landfill have been by the mayor of the city of Monrovia, and that was on the past mayor, Mayor Kochi. We can say it is technical issue because they have a team there that is managing it. So since January, this place have been on fire.
So who put it on fire January?
I can't say for sure.
They were trying to and then they put it on fire. Is that what was happening?
Probably they were moved to the landfill
with fire in it.
With fire in it, mistaken, and they didn't pick it up. And then it entered because it's a landfill. For years that where your deck have been moving, so you need to compare it. So there can be oxygen to pass through that place.
So fire service can cut it off?
Fire service, we've been using the fire service since January to today.
So Robert, how about okay?
To ask all the questions.
Yeah, Robert, how about the big deck issue? So, how about sweeping the street?
Yeah, so we come in there. So when you sweep, you have to carry that somewhere.
Yeah, but let's sweep first.
What now? We are coming there.
Yeah,
your own minute answer you question.
Yeah, I see the
you go to
my own bomber man. We're carrying the technical aspect of that. We have been moving it. We even moved some there and put it in our and kept it for the landfill. But we have been working sustainably on the landfill. So we have made a great deal of progress. Today, I forced it today that we work night and day. Today, 2 o'clock, we will start using the landfill. Okay. We'll be moving there today. Now we'll kick off the cleanup campaign this morning.
You're starting to clean up the place, but today is Friday, Saturday, though.
Yes. So we have kicked off a campaign called Clean Cities Act with You in Painesville. We launched it yesterday at the Painesville City Corporation.
How many persons you got working as teams? Because I'm looking at the Dupo Road. I saw some team to rehab around the president place. But I don't see nobody. And Dupo Road, the garbage around that graveyard going down.
Yeah, we are taking the garbage from the graveyard today. We are taking the garbage from the ERWA Junction today.
Somewhere going to Puri Academy Junction. You remember that area there?
Yeah, we have worked on that area already. We carry ladder right there. We cover and there's no garbage there any longer. But between now to the end of next week, you'll not see any garbage.
Between
right next year, please.
No.
No, that one.
We cover that. We use ladder.
Out there, I saw the talking about Police Academy Junction.
Oh, you're talking about
between.
You're talking about where Moadi then got water receiver.
Yes, I think
they call it Watchtower.
Yes,
we are also going to clean Watchtower.
When
we are on it now, and we're going to be working. Between today and the next 2 weeks, there will be no garbage in Painesville going on.
No, Robert, let me come in. If there's anybody, right? If there's anybody, Patrick, if anybody that felt the impact of PCC, it's me. I live right near Robert, and I've seen the work they've done in that area. Right? But can we have another landfill?
That is what we are working on. The World Bank is working with the Monrovia City Corporation and the Painesville City, the Chisholm. The project is on, and we were just there with the World Bank team a few weeks ago. in the next, it will take at least 1 year to get it on. Because a landfill is not just an ordinary dump site. You have to build it in a way where you have the leakage to go, you have to fence it, protect it. And we don't want the same thing that happened at one time to happen there. So we want to do lesson learned and do the best practice there. But now we can tell you, both Monrovia and Painesville, from today going on, we'll be moving garbage.
Yeah, but let me tell you something.
Let me just say something quick. Let me just ask if I lose my thought. I mean, I think that we have to look for individual ways to be able to look at this whole intensive management day. In other countries, people you don't like it that. To be able to, it has other remedial, uses. Why are you doing it?
It's also being done here. Now we have 5 recycling companies.
Okay.
Okay.
One famous and one there is your own man, Moba, and James Moba, a green city guy.
Okay.
They are all doing recycling. Another group came the few days. We tried to secure a lane in Gorbachev, but they're going to do plastic and water. So there are people coming in the recycling model. And John, my colleague from Monrovia City, is very good in the business aspect. I'm an urban planner, so I focus on the technical aspect of it. So we are turning one time into a business model for garbage, where we'll do sorting all. We make sure we do recycling there, so we can have job created for the community there and make garbage profitable for them also.
Okay, Robert.
Let me answer.
Let me ask because
Robert,
issue.
The way we handling garbage collection is we take it from the street. The truck leaves tomorrow morning. We'll come by again. We take it. About 99.9% of the day that you meet on the street, they're created from the homes. The street now making day. How many person will essentially just back water through it, and that will be small plastics that you see around, right? But no, stay.
Yeah, but
still
it will have that kind of
when I'm mountain,
there'll
be starting people just be able to sweep. The day that are coming on the street are dead created at home. 99%. Unless you tackle the garbage at home, you can't fix the street. You don't want to fix the street.
You're very right, and that is what we used to have it right, but for time, because of one time, we cut that. That's the primary.
So you get these bins. You start with businesses. You get bucket.
I'm coming there. We pull hard to the primary garbage collection, because when you even sign up to the CBEs, when they get the garbage, where are they going to carry it? They will dump it in the street. So we have been having that problem, but we are now working on the primary garbage collection. That's the people that go to your home to get the garbage out and bring it to the center where we move it to the site.
You started already?
So we are starting that now.
Robert, the essence of this thing is not for example, we're behind Stephen Johnson just now. We're asking all the hard questions. Yes. We did the same thing. So the essence, I know we can be defensive of our work, but sometimes we want to share recommendation to because at the end of the day, the public say that order. And anything that happens, anything I do at my office or you do at your office or everybody will say that so we have to talk about ourselves too. To me, I want people to understand that we are also not just sitting now and thinking our friend will be, we're not helping to make it done. So forgive us, we ask all the hard questions. Good. I want to ask come back to what Stephen is talking about, right? The garbage generated from the homes, but they come on the street. What can we do like ASAP? What can we do practically to say, maybe through an announcement on radio, maybe through public service community engagements to say, look, this is where we want you all to collect or to put your garbage in this community, this area. And then on Saturday, we'll find a way to come and collect it. Anybody caught carry, you gotta be firm. Or you throwing plastic bag, putting it on the street. What happening to these people? They will be free.
Yes, so we wanted to deal with the aspect of where to carry the garbage before engagement, and we have solved that. We are engaging the community leaders. We are now signing up to CBEs in the community. When you are living here, that you have your radio station here, you have to sign up to a CBE that will come and collect your debt, and you have to know that that CBE is lessened by the city, that they have somewhere to, because you have to have somewhere to carry the debt before we lessen you. So the process of that is on, and after that time, we know what CBE responsible for 72nd. So we know what CBE responsible for rehab. When we find there a certain part of this place, we know who to get
That
for
makes
it.
sense.
And then you
problem.
are in the community, you have to subscribe to one of them, because if we find out that you are not subscribed into any one of them, give your debt to less fortunate people to put it around, then you are responsible. There's a fund for it. But because
they assume that somebody else was the mayor of Painesville, and you were maybe a citizen, a dweller in one of the communities.
Yeah.
And then that person comes and explains this as much as it will make sense. But the person wants to see the practical, and for that person, the people who drive in the car, the practical thing is that they drive on the street, he see garbage. All the other one we're explaining, that jury to them. So they will judge us when they're driving on the street, they see garbage. They even know what kind of constraint you go through, whether you get logistical constraint. All they care about, they should not see garbage, especially the way the president gets sanitation as part of his arrest. We got to be careful with this.
And that is the reason why I don't know how come people have not seen where we carry the garbage for the whole city to be an emergency, national emergency.
I agree.
Because that cutting off that fire for us to move garbage for both Monrovia and other places should have been a national emergency. The people have spent thousands of dollars over there.
Hey, fire can go.
And the fire can go about. At least we are at a area. You talk about the people driving the car and sucking the water and dropping the plastic. We'll have fun for all of that. But you ask me, when somebody came to me and explained to me all these things I just said, I'm not the mayor. The first thing I will ask them, if I'm in my house, yes, I want to do other things. Can you give me a company that will come to collect my debt? Can you tell me where I will carry the debt after them? So that is what we are working on. Because if I tell you not to put there yet, you'll not keep the debt in your house. I have to tell you as the city government what you are doing.
So let our timeline to it.
Yeah.
Timeline to when are you going to find a place to put it there?
And it is done now. I think today we are moving the debt. So companies, CBEs, and other people are now working to move there from primary.
So you guys going to announce it?
Yeah.
Are you going to announce it? The people know.
It have been announced. Like the process, we had a press conference, Safa and myself, on our page. We sent to radio stations. They have been playing it while we are not using a Kimia, right? No, okay, we will start using. In fact, we will want to use this place as one of our. We will have a regular radio show, so we'll come out to Punch FM because we are working on that. We want to do information as one of the key pillars in our administration.
Gentlemen, I'll throw it to you guys. You guys have any kind of question that you think the public will to ask?
Okay, from my end, as an instructor of local government, the issue of sanitation and garbage. The issue of sanitation and the issue of garbage collection has been at the center of local government administration. And for me, there are a number of things. He explained some things. Extend my appreciation to the mayor of the city of Painesville for some of the initiative. But like Patrick said, some of those things have to be practical. And some colleagues have said it. The first thing that is this domestic garbage, which is called primary waste from your end, is that we need to focus on that. I can tell you, when you look at the United States, you look at Great Britain, you look at other countries all around the world, bulk of the people who work with government work with the local authority because the local authority is the closest to the people.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, you can raise millions of dollars and employ a lot of people as compared to central administration. Because if you talk about waste and you have people in the various communities that are enforcing some of those regulations on waste collection, and that you have your mechanism in place to make sure that you get them from the community to the end point, I can tell you a number of persons will have jobs. And when they have jobs, they will have some. You can be able to pay them because people will be entitled to pay for the garbage they create. So
exactly.
What I'm thinking here is that besides that, also to help us, I'm thinking that you and the mayor of Monrovia can start this. I visited Kigali just before the second round of elections. The issue of plastic waste has been one of the serious problems in Liberia.
So no
to
plastic
dispose,
there,
to dispose of plastic. So what we can do to see how best we can have a national conference around or whatever policy can be derived, at least we can start to transition from plastic waste to that of using the paper. Because plastic waste, like water plastic around the place,
It can decay for many years.
it can decay, and it's causing health hazard for the people. When
And that
Or you could increase taxes on this company.
Sooner than later, you will find out that plastic will start leaking.
it is between 20 to 500 years
decay,
plastic to then decompose.
And you not believe that they are in the swamp, they are in the river, they are in all the water.
If we take that,
And they are causing problems.
if we
Health
take-
hazard to the fish.
then,
And all
then,
things.
then we in problem. Because
we
the
are
plastic
saying-
water what we got in a country, everybody drinks plastic water. They throw on the street and we take it to be easy thing.
So
in the
some
swamp,
countries,
all in the water.
Patrick, some countries have developed in terms of have this kind of moratorium on importing plastics into their country because it takes between 20 to 500 years. And people don't, look at the consequences, and that's why.
And most of us use groundwater. Most of us use the groundwater. Even they are not biodegradable. They sell the groundwater.
Yeah, when go under the water, under the ground.
It's like the chemical from the plastic they sell it on the groundwater. So one thing we need to start to do is that how we dispose of those things and how we start to increase
Taxes
on those things and help and get the thing.
Mr. Mayor, I want to suggest to you on this radio, all our friends and the people listening to us. Can you and maybe the mayor of Monrovia? I know I spoke to him on this. You see, the plastic, it really irritates me to tell you the truth. And those are low-hanging fruits for me. Maybe in the 500 day or whatever. Can there be? I know there are certain ordinances to support you in this. When you make an announcement and say beginning May 1, I'm just saying, beginning May 1, anybody caught throwing plastic on the street will be fined $500 Liberian dollars. I'm just saying, right? And then you empower the people themselves and say, and the way you will be caught, the people themselves, anybody who catches, anybody who reports it to us,
You get percentage.
You get percentage of that 500. Every time you report, you get percentage.
There's a town in Cape Man.
Patrick.
There's a town in Cape Man.
I understand the point Darlington, but it is not the authority of the municipal government to make a policy of what comes into the country. So
you are looking at from a global
with that
one
Kigali, it was Kigali itself.
The national policy.
So it's the national
The president can pass an executive order for it.
Yes, so if a decision is being made on plastic, it is by the national government.
Me, I think it's too early to say John Plastic.
Wait, let me get to what we have. Yeah, we have in our municipal law. When you are caught trashing the street, there's fine and penalty for it. So, and that is where we are coming to. You see, really, this video, we're putting the road on the other side. We'll get the people from setting on the road in radar. But we are pushing it in an urban way. We are planning and getting it done in a systematic way. Today, we move the people from around the president's house there. That people sitting there. Or they're Marine, or everybody calling me, oh, you get the people some more there. The people would not, you get them the rest of the year, they will not move. And when you're doing those things, I know they will call all the people that are involved. So sometimes I would just be laughing and say, oh, yeah, a lie to happen. We make sure we move them from there. We'll plant flower, water from the speaker hall, fanatic Kofa, all the way to the president hall. On that side of the road, nobody will sell there. Nobody will pay anything on the other side of the road. But we'll have to do it gradually. Inform them.
Yeah, but I want
train.
I want to around the president house.
It will
go up beyond the president.
It will go around. It will go around. And we are moving the deck today. We can tell you between now to next Sunday. Between next Sunday. Both Monrovia and Painsville will
be
not see
that.
Yeah.
You see part of the law.
You're not supposed to throw.
What's the fine? What is the fine?
If I'm in the car,
do
right,
something practical.
I throw a dike through the window, the car window.
Even if that means that throw it for me.
the fine is anything between $100
Labena.
to yeah.
Yeah,
Because those
Suggestion here, or let me ask one question.
Do they have a tax force?
we got a city police.
Let me ask one question. Patrick, one of the biggest issue in the Pins was the issue of the sour.
Oh, yes, I will.
Yeah, even if you do most of the road project, they didn't complete the sour. You be walking the sour that get one big drainage, no cover. Is it possible for you to liaise with public works to either see one of those contractors who got those road contract part of the contractual agreement call for them to finish the sour, or if not, can you because a lot of people following these things?
It's being done right now. Giddens and I, Minister Giddens and I were talking about it. It's being done. You see, the sidewalk, the shoulder of the road, everything has been done all the way.
Because the way roads and sidewalk are built in modern world and a human right issue.
Yeah.
That sidewalk will accommodate blind men and will be able to accommodate everybody. Even the car road. I want to see in the West, they got play for bicycle. They got specific part of the road for buses. Because it's a human right thing. They can be accommodated down the road.
Done. The problem where we are working together right now.
What I noticed in Ghana, a lot of city in Accra, each camel or driver has a small lake in the car where they encourage the passengers to make sure that rather than peanut, if you need in the child, the plastic, put it right in there. They encourage the passengers to do it.
Those are the little things that matter.
Is that
Or maybe you find the camel. I think they find the camel. They find the camel.
To be able to.
Then the camel has got to be careful.
Yeah, that is going on right now as we speak. The community engagement department, the communication department, and the city planning and zoning department are on that. Now, as we're speaking, they are having all of those engagement. We had the community leaders yesterday with us.
I can't go drive all around PV.
The mayor has plans, and he's committing to us that he will leave from here today. By end of the week, we'll be around
between now to the end of the week.
But by the time we have the
CSA issue as well.
Director is here. Let him talk about the CSA issue. We're talking about 40,000. Who job are rich. The fate of 40,000 civil servants.
I know that is an orthodox way of sometimes it's good to use the orthodox means to get people on their toes. I know that, and people are trying to politicize it. Yes, some of them might have reasons to politicize it given the volatile situation, but like we said, this program is intended to also, and as we gave the information to put to spice up with funds.
So what is this information?
So basically, let me just give you a short thing about 40, a little above 40,000, a little above 40,000. Prior to the last government taking over, the civil service agency had 44,000 persons on payroll, centralized government payroll, and that was about 29 ministries and agency, the bigger ministries and agency. And there was a need, given the mandate of the civil service, there was this need that almost an entire government institutions and should transition on the CSA. And then we had this process of harmonization also happening within that time frame. Although we have some supplementary payrolls that were being controlled by ministries and agencies and commissions, especially the Ministry of Education, the Ministry of Health, and the Ministry of Internal Affairs, those ministries. But when you calculate those persons that were on those supplementary payroll, you'll be around 9,000 to 10,000 persons that we have to transition to the main payroll. Besides that, there were all smaller institutions, government institutions like ministry agencies and commissions that came on board. That number is practically around 20,000. And so we are expecting around 20,000 persons to transition. Those persons were now, yeah.
Are you removing 40,000
No.
people from the payroll?
No, we are
The answer
regularizing.
is no.
No, we are regularizing their status. I'm just trying to
I'm
tell
going to
you.
repeat that.
So, yeah.
1 minute. There's a
Yes.
reason why I'm going to ask this question.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah,
Clear
also,
answer. You listen, oh. Are you removing 40,000 people on the from the payroll?
No.
No. The answer is no, right?
Yeah, no.
Okay.
All right, so like I said,
about 40,000 people, they can be moving from
So-
the payroll.
so like I said, about 20,000 of those people were actually working with some government institutions and they were on supplementary payroll. All came as a result of party. So they went as far as more than 40,000 persons that that came on the centralized government payroll. And before you come, there are processes that you need to go through. And on the civil service agency laws as it relates to employment will get something they call the PAN, the personal action notices. And it has your date of employment, your sex, your qualification, your status, marital status, and different about data, entire human resource information system, the life cycle of your employment. Okay, but whatever the case is, those persons, those people were dumped on the payroll without any process being done. So you found out that in the system, those people have no information besides the pay they take. So many of those people came, some of whom were not qualified. Some of them even made the necessary pay grade. Some of whom even to process them for the NASCOP, or retirement package is a very difficult thing. That is one of the reasons why we have even more than 10,000 persons still standing by for retirement. We have no information on them. We send them a NASCOP to fill the C1 form with information. We can't get it. In the system, you see some people, they say they born 1900. So 1900? Yeah, because no date of birth. They were concerned. The government was trying to regularize. So we try to make sure that those information are correct. And talking to the General Auditing Commission, the 90 days period is enough to be able to correct some of those things. However, it is our interest that some of those persons may renege.
Or somebody will be ghosts.
Some of them might be ghosts. Yeah. And so after that period, those people that will not see and will not regularize, we will block them and waiting for them to come and appear. When they appear, then we'll be able to see if we can regularize their status.
Okay. So that we all understand any question for him. You want to simplify your simplify.
Just a follow-up, Diana. What's the size of the civil service payroll in 2017 December? And why was it that we took over in March?
Okay, offhand, I can't give you the exact figure in 2018. But at the time we were around 14, somewhere around 14 million, but then we are now around 23.5 million.
In terms of
the dollar amount, right?
Yeah, US dollar.
To be able to run a small and efficient government, and that's where in terms of best practices to be able to ensure that those things happen. Unfortunately, we have more than 90% of the budget goes to recurring costs. Yeah. We can continue on this track for the next.
We not do anything.
We not do nothing. There's no project budget. Not cutting up Waka. The issue of consultancy across government is a fine idea, but you found out that last year alone, the government had $2 million for consultancy. What? But that from January before we reached December, it went to 6.1 million. And looking at the consultancy, employment,
not even do anything much.
Most of the consultants, I'm telling you, most of the consultants were all of former rebel people, former security guys who are now working, people in the United States, people putting their husband, their brothers and things and paying them. Some people on the consultancy were making 7,000, 3,000, 2,000. Some names I can't call, but there were people who just walk the street with no report. They have no report. The first thing about consultancy, you don't have a contract. You don't even have a mechanism to recruit them. You don't have no expertise. They're not reporting to any institution. By the time you found out we're having 6.1 million. So from our analysis on what
you got to pay every month,
that we spend on consultancy. So what we did from scrutinizing the process, we managed to come back to the $2 million that we can use on consultancy over the entire year. And
So 4 million you drop it.
We'll be dropping 4.1 million. And that 4.1 million, it is our hope that can go to the security sector, can go to health, can go to education, can go to something agriculture, something different. And okay, can go to sanitation, all of it. So even on the centralized government payroll, I can tell you, Patrick, just from analysis, like in the police, from 2020 up to present, the police had 98 persons on their payroll that they have never seen. Imagine we're causing noise in community about protection. They had 98 persons on their payroll we have never seen, we have never heard about. And the police have no record. And so that is the reason why the comprehensive human resource and payroll management audit is necessary to establish how
some people vex for it.
Yeah.
They will not do no audit.
So we're having about 16,000 United States dollars every month was going somewhere just from the police on the issue of the payroll. Like another area in the land on the land, you have 49 persons that nobody has seen at the land authority, that they were on the land authority payroll, just to find out that those persons were under the quote-unquote were under discovered after the last government lost the election and this new government took over. And so we are talking about saving more than 12,000 monthly. Okay. So if you cut across 103 government spending entity, you are talking about saving a particular amount that spread out to provide social services.
Two things quickly. I want you to pay attention to the guy James Zipa. I saw him talking about
James
Zipa.
Let's see what he said. Click it. He said you think that humanitarian government is that?
No, there's another. Okay, look, that James Emmanuel M4. Emmanuel M4.
Yeah, I see. He says Patrick kindly register the station on Radio Garden. I don't know about this. It's an app that enables one to access local stations from anywhere once it's connected to the internet. So,
Joseph, you can be a pick from the but basically in terms of the payroll, Patrick, and it's a key thing, and that's why we're ready to put some effort for the National Port Authority alone. Before 2018, they had a staff registry of around 680 people. Today, you're talking about 2,000 plus. So what the guys did was that they just piled these government institutions with partners and misfits and put in places where they shouldn't be, right? And there has to be a comprehensive overhaul of the entire system. The whole system. If I want to look at the overall national payroll data, and to see whether we can be able to have guys who really, who have the experience to be able to fill in the gaps, and then we can be able to employ qualified people to be able to perform the work. But if we just leave the entire payroll thing to what I refer to as the kind of partisan politics and get it, at the distance of the kind of partisan thing, we are not going anywhere.
But let me tell you, also Liberia. They also Liberia. Once they are qualified,
I think but the way how to be able to the way how you are able to graduate people into the public space, it has to be on basis of qualification. For the US, they have the process. OPM, right? The Office of the Personnel Management. Yeah, we have the CSA. Those are the most qualified group of citizens enrolled into the OPM in the US, and for Liberia, it should be a CSA. In Liberia, it's quite opposite.
Of course.
Or they had the CSA thing just me on the battle of me or my friend, my sister's son, my daughter, and the rest of that.
And I think
all enrolled into that national system.
And I think on the new CSA administration is going to be a little bit different. And
because you have the partisan thing, and I think Patrick, we should remove the partisan thing. I'm not talking about
UP.
They're not called party. I think you remove partisan.
From the civil service.
That move to what I mean.
To a point, Darlington, Chaliba making. Like the CAA, for example, we moved from 80 persons in 2018 to almost 200 in 6 years. But there's something interesting on that. I don't talk about the consultancy. I could be wrong, but my understanding about a consultant is a specialized skill that you cannot find internal. You decide to outsource it.
We see they get people consulted.
I see somebody say early GS student.
Yeah, that's
Then
super
consultant.
often a business consultant.
Doing it,
You know the phone about it.
They got it.
Our police who used to be sucking on the social media.
Oh, yeah.
So y'all don't do that.
But that money you're talking about, I'm just doing the math, right? Yeah, I read it around. Just for the police alone, you could have savings around $192,000 per year. If you're talking about $16,000 that you know going in the air, you multiply 16,000 by 12, you're talking about 192,000. So yes, so there has to be a way to be able to remove all these things and to be able to put that fund into issue around sanitation, youth development, activities, SMEs, you know, and so I really think that we should be able to get those.
Unfortunately, time is our greatest. I know we have to talk about the stuff with the concessions and all of that, and also TVET. I want us to push it to next Saturday so that we have enough discussion. Mo will be here to talk about water and sewer. All you guys, civil service will give us update on what is happening, and everybody will provide update. We also will be having Cornelia to tell about what's the story of the 700 people from the what they call it. So that's what we want to do. We will pick up from what the MICA press briefing will say, those who appear there, and then we bring them here. Hopefully, we have Robert Wilson to be here to talk about the asset recovery. Robert, are you still there?
I'm here, Patrick. I'm here. It's so unfortunate that I've been postponed.
Can you give us a quick briefing on Friday's hearing at the Court of Justice with the justice in chamber with the gracious right?
The Clark Martin will be for that in terms of disseminating the information on asset recovery. But mainly, I want to focus on GSA for now. I think that's where the emphasis should be.
So if somebody else wants to buy a car right now, because the way I saw that policy, the kind of car I saw you're giving off for 3 years. If somebody want to buy a car right now, maybe they can't spend 3 years. They can come to you, you will sign the paper, eh?
Patrick, I intend to be a people-driven Deputy Director General for Operations at the GSA, including my boss, Mr. Kalamai Kotima. What we need in the country currently, besides that good Lord I turned bad, is that we need a national fleet policy. And I'm going to work towards that in terms of achieving that. Once we're able to get the budgetary support, and I know I'm the president, Joseph Yuma Boyka.
I'm reading all the comments. So, anyone hear anything about budgetary support, they can say it's a way to Jack cleverly not do that way. But let me come to that fleet thing you're talking about, gentlemen, and we'll ask your views on this. Robert, you say it was a good law that turned bad. That law said if a car, a government vehicle that is assigned to you spend 3 years, and I'm summarizing it, and it depreciates, right? And the owner to buy it, it goes to you first. You the first person to buy it. You think it's something good, or you think that's something we need to review because it happened to the other people? We are the ones there now. I don't want to buy my own car. I made a personal decision. I don't want to buy a government vehicle, but others will want to do it.
Patrick, let me say this. If GSA was to buy a car for me while I remain there, and what I stay there 2, 3 years, 6 years, and be leaving, I will have no intention of purchasing that car. You know for what reason? My position and my proximity to power might coerce the staff at GSA to speedily give me that car because I'm their boss, and those honor people, the DDGO wants the car from me. I will be mentally coercing them. So I believe that I came to government to serve. And once I finish serving, I will leave that car to leave a legacy that anybody that comes, even if the law say X, Y, Z, but there's prudency. Now, the laws on the book, they're not really
6 years. Robert, when that car spent 6 years with you, think about this now.
Yeah.
That car spent 6 years with you, and you leaving government. You leave that car, the next Deputy Director General for Operation. He may not necessarily ride, but he can give it to somebody in the office, maybe the director.
But you didn't allow me to learn, Patrick. I didn't learn on that. So
don't even have.
We need to motivate. We need to motivate. We need to motivate our staff. We need to motivate the staff. If those that work with us, if we intend to use car and send it down, it will have a trickle down effect on the ordinary workers at the entities. Because if I use a car for 3-4 years, I realize maybe government say, okay, they have depreciated, they buy another car. The person that next in line can benefit and will have a trickle down effect as time goes by, based on the number of purchases and number of changes over the years. But notwithstanding, the policy not necessarily say that just 3 years. If the car, the maintenance cost of the car is overseeing the overhead cost that this car is spending $5,000 every month, it's too expensive to maintain based on the number of years, the mileage, and everything taken into consideration, then you can take that car maybe 3-4 years. But there are some people car last 3 years, 50,000 miles. But just because they said 3 years, I review the records. If that car comes to me and see the condition of the car,
so that we certify government car.
Yeah.
Government just don't go back to selling company and say all government cars must be the customer. So by the time you see a government vehicle, you know
Some people buying some BB cars, and then
you think your car entire with private license plate.
Patrick,
And the
2000
all in government. Jeremy, I want big all of we are young people there that we don't want to put below.
We buying
We
car.
more than 1,000 plus in government local.
We buying car.
You let the people car will go.
We buying car.
Let it put let's see this is different.
I think what is true, we are going to push for changing the law.
Yeah.
But let us make that determination and serve as a sample. Yeah, for all of us.
You agree with that?
I do.
For me, I
just
agree.
say this,
Because local will do you car.
No, but the policy is you pay for. Like our policy, you if you want a car, they'll take from your salary.
Okay, so
So they'll take money. Like if I'm there, they will take money from my salary there. Like yeah. So they'll be taking money. So that way, even though
no, but people will still complain. They will expect
I go get car, no, and buy my car. That's the same thing.
people will say that the car you are buying government and the car and then carry it. They will not.
If you take it from my pay, they all the government say, Patrick will give you the car. It's a sound to you, right? But every month you pay $1,000 for it.
Okay, that one.
You know, you more they take it for your pay and put it towards the car.
The thing is about the law because there are other people in other branch of government that are benefiting from it. They how about the legislature? They back up and then they back up and then 3 years. Then they buy new one again. So the people in the executive too will want to own a car too because they are. Imagine the type of good cars that they can give for the legislature. Right after 3 years, they're giving them money for the same type of car and they're taking that other car for them and they get a new one. So we were in government when they changed the law. It was almost around 2015. It was the time they were changing your salary or some of your 1 year term. They were going to credits or things and they thought about it. All right, you have to help me out.
So if I change my salary, I was riding LBS 2. I was leaving. I left that car right there. But before that time, my private
that was the time Mary brought this thing. So people, the law is not totally bad, but the guys there have been using it in the bar.
Yeah, but I think 2 years too.
They have been using it in the bar.
But we can make a personal commitment.
Myself, at one period, I had a Toyota Hilux. I bought my car.
I know you bought
I want that because one time in the past, work on the law.
No, but Patrick, even we're in tier, right?
Patrick, yeah,
You said that I got 2 years minimum.
Let's work on the law.
Patrick, let's do I did not. Patrick, let's go to some of the basic fundamentals here. But one of the mistakes that we made regarding the policy and regarding the law, regarding the policy is that you build a policy around that depreciation. You look at it from a valuation standpoint. But if you look at the mechanics depreciation is not a valuation process. It is more of an allocation process. So even by accounting standards, a car can fully depreciate, but it still has some kind of considerable cost around in terms of the really market trends, in terms of conditions, in terms of demand. All right. And so if you do a policy around looking at depreciation as a valuation process, and that's why you have you say the car after 3 years, you can be able to give it out. But I think that once you talk to experts, I mean, people who have, I mean,
look at the president. The former president took that car. That car was one of the newest cars, presidential motorcade, the one he rides. He took it every 3 years.
So I mean, Patrick, right? So
you know the car talking about?
Yeah.
And
so I feel
the president,
Patrick. So I feel that in terms of doing the stuff, people should go to people who have the expertise around it to be able to lend their own expertise towards that in terms of that quality design. Nowhere around the world, even by accounting standards, depreciation is not a valuation process. It's more of an allocation process. So even if a car has fully depreciated, it still has considerable market value around demand, around really market trends in terms of condition. So you're going to tell me that I go buy a 2024 Toyota, right? A 2024 Toyota Prado. And then you say that after 3 years, that car has fully depreciated. No,
I need to answer that before.
You know, so I'm just saying to you that we have to look at those.
You start using that is that 2015, 2016 model.
How much you pay for it?
And
like your private car.
Yeah,
a lot of.
So it's somewhere around. I'll spend around $7,000 for it. So you find out that if I can spend for 2015, 2016 model that is already in the 100.
Exactly.
Why would a government car that is around 50,000 sometimes even less than even a little more them and stay in better condition, no accident, nothing. So and then you find yourself paying.
In many instances, in some of these places, they give transportation allowance, I think, and the vehicles. So what if they give you the money and what if you ask, maybe what if you, for me, I think anything you should have to be yours. But everything that is attached to government,
from the salary
and if you want a government car or the company you work with gives you that amount, you can be able to do it, right? But if not, what if my people calling time now on us. So let me just open the lines briefly and just gauge the public opinion on any of the things we talk about, and then next week Saturday, hopefully we say every other Saturday, but next week Saturday will just be Senate county meetings next week Saturday. But it has to be every other Saturday because of day will be busy.
What do we have a program does it next Saturday? The county meeting. The county meeting is in the afternoon time, right?
The county meeting in the afternoon, so we can do it on Saturday.
Yeah,
next week Saturday.
I think that if people get glued to this to this platform in terms of time, then you can be able to build in terms
and we're not going to have the
and,
same.
Yes, we're not gonna. Everybody can come. People can be on the screen.
Please, because I really want to talk to someone like the Minister of Finance and Development Plan in terms of some of the big ticket items.
When he comes,
somebody agriculture. I want to look at issue around
public works,
jobs along the what are the issues there? I mean, so I'm going to ask them if we can self-assess and to be able to give our guys the level of issues, we will get replaced in 6 years.
Yeah.
So that has to change.
Yeah, I agree.
So you come here, we'll ask you the hard questions. If I all do hard questions here, and part about it that nobody's going to give me something around Kato, right? Automatically, they don't want anything from you. So I will ask you the hard questions, the same hard questions that we hear.
But they will ask you to the hard question or no? Look at billing and all that.
Yeah. I'm prepared, and Patrick, and I say this to you, right?
Yeah.
I came from the private sector. I'm going to go. I've not started officially at Ducat. Yes. So let me just say that to you. I want to be clear. I'm taking a $15,000 car to the institution where I'm working. That's why I'm private car. Private car. It's not government car, right? If I order a structural program where they have an incentive where they can
take it for your salary.
Where there's you have entire paycheck to be able to say
somebody just post, somebody wrote one liner, Lina Mancam. She said, after all they plenty talking, where are we going to wet our throat?
She way she way in Atlanta. I'm afraid. She way in Atlanta.
Okay, let's
Let's
take
we'll
few
talk
calls.
after the first month. Yeah.
Let's take few. Jeremy, we on Sunday live, man. Let's take few calls. The appointment what they not doing now. Maybe can let you pass you all of it.
Well, I'm going to listen to your number.
So you see, we're still on the apologies for the break-in transmission that was due to power fluctuation. I don't want to say as usual.
We gotta bring LEC people here.
We gotta bring LEC people here, and then they will also talk. But I want to also take some calls quickly before we move on. So if you're out there, sorry for the break. If you're out there, please don't hesitate to call us now on 07. I want the women to call. So let me announce a number for the females so that we do it, we balance it. The women can call us on 0880561644. Again, women, your number to call is 088056. Please put the numbers down. 561644. Men can call us on 0778665699. Again, men 0778665699. A bit of distraction here. Gentlemen, somebody was wrapping up, and we say when we come back here the next time, we'll talk about the TVET, we'll talk about the county meet. Hopefully, we have one of the ministers you spoke about. I'm sure Ali will be here, and Cornelia and the other team. Hopefully, you will be at work now.
Yes.
When are you going to work?
Tuesday of next week. Monday, the officer in charge, Nuka, should be back in the country. And then on Tuesday, there will be this program to be able to have us started. But I left my work at Asometa. I said go back to them on the 31st of March. I may always, I mean, head rending to be leaving an institution after me.
You took your last pay, eh?
Well, I mean, when you work, you get paid. So, yes.
Let's sorry, I'll come back to you.
I'm not on government.
Morning. Morning, can you hear me? Hello? You're live. We can't hear you, so I don't know whether you were hearing us. Sorry, go ahead. You were saying something. Again, 0778665699, 0880561644. You were saying something. Yeah. Morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning. Are you getting me?
Yeah, very well. Your name and where you call us from?
Okay, thank you. My name is Sam M6, and I call from District 2 Motor. Let me say good morning to you guys this video, and let me say thank you, Patrick, for this show. And I think they appreciate it and effective. I'm listening to the.
So which one of the things you want to talk about? Mayor, you said the mayor.
Yeah, I want to talk about the things.
Okay.
You see, as the president said, sanitation is one of the key agendas. And Painesville is one of the largest city I can say in Montserrat County. So when it comes, I would want to give a recommendation to him that the issue of the plastic diet, those mineral parts who are producing those plastics, they should be able to reform those plastics, whether on the street, to pick up the plastic and care about it to see how best they can do to represent. They will get rid of the plastic, because you find out even older people, they don't want they would drink. They are in the car knowing that to take a deck and put it on the street is bad, but they would definitely do it without no anything to that. So that you get people on the street, they shouldn't even say it by mouth, but you get people who will be on the street. Like anybody caught when you are in the driving seat or you are a passenger and you drop out plastic, they should be able to stop that car. You pick up like America, like other people, like what other people can do. If you cannot pay it for you, they carry you, you feel the same
Okay. When that same policy comes into effect, won't you say it's draconian, the government, what kind of government, this, what kind of thing, it will be okay, right? Ain't that what you want?
Yeah.
Let me ask the mayor whether he can respond to this. Thank you. We have a call from overseas. Let me pick this one. Hello.
Hello, this is Douglas. I'm calling from Europe. How are you?
From Europe. Let's hear you, Douglas.
Thank you. Thank you for the program. Thank you very much. Look, you see, I start with Robert Benson. You know, Robert Benson. The problem is when people start projects and just for 1 or 2 months they stop, and it becomes problem. For example, if you start to clean, the city will all put things in place. Within 2 months, that whole when town place will get full again, and you will stop it, and then the debt will come on the street.
So are you suggesting we should wait for him to put everything into place before he can start? Because nobody waiting for that. Ain't the project in the 100 days.
Yeah, no. Now the 100 days, the problem is in the beginning they should have put the things in place before starting, but they started it and they go look the place was spoil again. Then they stop, and as soon as you stop, people making dirt every day. As soon as you stop, then they with the dirt. So, for example, I think rubber investment. Then you need to go to Abidjan. Right after the war, Abidjan got full with dirt. So the people put those things in place before they started to roll out the process. So and I just want to make a little point. The guys from the services, how they go ahead, the services agency,
CSA.
In order to explain to the people, tell them you are working, but when you pension, you will not get money because you are not regularized. You are just taking pay to just. When you die, your family will not get any money if you are not regularized. But if you want to tell them, say, go and regularize, you're getting that you want to remove them from the payroll. Good to explain to them. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Let's go to the line on our orange number. Morning.
Yeah, greetings, Roberto, and other senior brothers in the studio. This is Abu Kamara. I just woke up and turned to the radio. Actually amazed with the work that this morning, though left at the boss. But yes, guys, two things I want to talk on has to do with the peace visit in Mayor with Adam Murray saying that those who got away from the president.
No, that's not why that's not what the man said here, open up.
What is it?
The man will say what he said. Listen to what the man said. Go ahead, bro.
I'm saying at no time people will be ready to leave. So each time you're ready to take those enforcement measures, you hear people calling you from all over time to tell you to stop.
Okay. So go ahead now. You heard it.
Yeah. What I want to say, right? It goes to the commercial like 20 years, the mayors. I want to believe they are afraid to effectuate the law in a way of losing political dividends. You go to Raleigh once, I think I was heading to Lopa. The road was Champa Patrick, who reached to Raleigh. The people were like, you guys taking all over, you guys are running.
Okay. All right. Oh, okay. Thank you. That clarity was very important so that it's not misconstrued. Gentlemen, I think we can just take 2 more calls and then we close on it. We have time on the WhatsApp number, messages. Okay, so Robert will ask, how many times you get next Saturday, man, you 077-866-5699. 080561644. So Robert Wilson doesn't want to say anything about the asset recovery.
No, I was online. I was hijacked by.
We actually went off. Oh, I see. So you just want to quickly in 1 minute that GSA thing you're talking about?
Yeah, in 1 minute.
Yeah, before you do the 1 minute, Hello. Morning.
Yeah, good morning.
So these are all young government officials. What we decided to do, we decided to set. Hello, listen now, Chief. Hello. So what we decided to do, we want to do business as usual. Well, when they appoint you, you say you did making yourself, you passing all around. So we put ourselves together. We say we'll be coming on the radio to explain, to challenge, and argue with one another what we're doing to our various places. Because we want to challenge one another to perform. And we won't call on you to challenge us. So we can hear. You see that the problem is the opportunity to interact with all of us. We get local mayor, we get Peace City mayor, we get GSA mayor, Youth Expo mayor, Ministry of State, CSA, Oh, they want to see your money going far. So go ahead.
Yeah. This is Emmanuel Harris.
Go ahead.
Brother, I'm sorry for the decision because we did a period campaign for that 3 months and we haven't hearing anything from our man who said he carried out people into the office and by this time we're trying to meet to the mayor that he will call on us, but we haven't hearing anything.
Who wanted the mayor? You talking about the mayor of Pinsville or the mayor of... Okay, where are you again? Ain't see why the program important? Ain't see why the program important? Now you be able to talk straight to the mayor of Pinsville. Mayor, you saw that in your office? And then Emmanuel has it? The message that they bring, they let them know to hear, so your needs stay so in the air.
No, I think he's busy with fire service matter. But go to fire service when you get it from him, you can bring it.
I heard it that they say into the fire service, of course.
Yeah. So I understand the letter here. So go try to find a way to get to the mayor, right?
All right.
Okay, let me take a WhatsApp call from overseas. Hello.
Good morning, Honnah, and let me say good morning to all of the studio in studio there. My name is Cheng. I'm in a call for me for the Twin City of Minnesota, USA.
You didn't experience the shock of the earthquake, eh? You were far off from that earthquake thing, eh?
Yeah. This era is not a lakes, so we are part of those guys. The airfield, anyway, we say sorry to them also.
Okay, that quickly now we can get 2 more callers and then we'll wrap up. Go ahead.
All right, thank you. My attention brought to city mayor. What about city mayor appointed by His Excellency President Joseph Mwagwai to serve us? I would also like to advise the protest. We want our city to be look like that, but how can they look like that? Of Liberia, I remember in 2007, former Information Minister Dr. Lauren Blobler once stated in that quote that if Liberia want to compete with other countries around the world, we Liberia need to change our mentality, change our mind, and change our attitude. The city mayor can even be the best good at performance in security. If the citizens are still there dropping dead, like one of the quarters today. Look, in the United States of America, I'm residing in Minnesota, I'm residing in Kansas City. If you make a claim to get drop of trash from the people, you'll be penalized by the city.
You'll be penalized by the city. So that means somebody there to regulate, somebody there to implement. So we need a mayor to also enforce that the aspect of the law. That's what we're saying. Because there will always be societal deviance.
And that's why I was saying to put his time in, not to sit in the office like the other guys who used to dress with the bullshit. Get on the field, put the people outside. Yeah, trust me. We can also that we can do possible things. Look, when I was in Liberia, this one time I went in my car and I thought something like I left somebody. You can't try to keep this play like no. What a party is also that he was a party in my country. So we hope our males in the federal county, national in Pinnville and Motor City.
Okay, sir. This mayor is a listening mayor. This mayor is a listening mayor. And we hope that people will be transformed. It has to take time. It may happy one day. Everybody knows that one, right?
Yeah, we agree. And that's why we also say that we should also we the citizens also to have we should have that.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Let me take the final caller and then we can go. Morning. Good afternoon. Good morning.
Good morning, my mentor, Padre Honnah.
Morning.
Yeah, this is Richmond Particular, and I call you from Dugo Road.
Go ahead.
I'm a young man from Sanayo District. Well, I'm following the show online. Thanks to you guys for the show. I think some of us, you people who are behind the scenes, who believe in good governance and accountability and transparency, by you guys, these people who are the young folks, that have been appointed and that will be appointed to serve in our own government, and that are believing so much. Even though I'm not a member of any political party, but I believe in him so much that the table here when you meet, it will make some other people feeling very fine. And we have been seeing some signs and symptoms of a good governance.
Just by the fact that, people in the government can come and be willing to be scrutinized by the public and scrutinize themselves, ain't happened before, my brother. Ain't happened Ellington over there. Ain't happened Taylor. Ain't happened via
Thank you very much, especially my cousin, my one cousin who does not know me. We are not there, Robert Benson. He must say we are very so I want you, if you perform at that same position, I know your uncle Alfred may have said that in that place before, and I know you will tap on me, expect you to perform for our city. If ever we be proud of you, and one day we'll carry you to some of your districts.
Thank you. I don't know. I'm trying to get this on the screen. I'm getting this live television. You can go on the screen, right? So we're getting these excerpts from the Liberian, quoting the Liberian TV network. The road between Tapeta in Nima County and Zweju in Grand has begun to be rehabilitated. And please put it on the screen. Excerpts of this. Can you see this?
Yeah.
So that's please put on the screen quickly so people abroad can see. Because and they roll this there. All kind of old picture and we are saying to people be ugly. We are going to road. They want to see what old picture there, man. We can women.
I think contracts were awarded for that for the Southeast. Contracts were awarded by the Ministry of
I think they started doing so.
They started doing already. They're hats off to Guinea. He will come here to explain also.
Yeah, he needs to come here. Yeah.
And you were talking about the city. You got to talk about there are some cities.
This is the road from Tapeta in Nima County going to Zweju in Grand County. Not the whole stretch. That's not reality. So before you go to another area, the road, they have started doing something. They have started
doing something. As I said, even in the street, when South is, nobody takes it on through there. But besides that, let's go back to the road. The road will be correctly. All the bad road, maybe the public minister of Somalia, I know within the public minister, at the end of the place, exactly. Same application before the public minister, maybe they didn't know. So you will be informed out to so criticize everything, but some of those pictures, so they know the value will contact the public minister.
Next week Saturday will be a closing comments. Let's begin with you, Kwaka.
Thank you. And I want to comment to focus on the issue of the mayor of the city of Pinsville. I live in the city, so I've read this mayor investment for some time now. Just before the whole process, 2-3 weeks ago, I was concerned with the heap of type so across the Pinsville area. I just filed this morning, mayor, between Antonio Boulevard and the road junction and with the academy junction, rather than right after the power. I saw a lot of data and I saw smoke coming out of that street. That's my fire. We have to ensure that we have some things correctly, especially in case fires. If we have a regime where very proactive that can be able to pay for fines, you not even be depend on the pool or the government schools. All right, can be able to create their own forms. Just by fine, as Stephen said, the primary, which was a strategy have to start from now on the level. I want to be able to conceal that, be able to ensure that those things happen. We can be able to address the whole issue around data collection. Even if after that, I don't think we are going to because I know risk management is just a small portion. maybe like 4-5% of the intents or function of the entire industry corporation. But that one has the biggest outburst, and so you have to pay some kind of attention towards that. And I want to commend you and your team for the initial work. But if all you fall short, we'll come here.
Yeah.
We'll grill you. Because we have our focus on this process.
Yo.
All right. I was with this campaign process for a long period of time. Everybody here, you include everybody here in the studio with the campaign process. If we feel it becomes a collective start, and we do not want to have a situation where it lasts 6 years.
Yeah, everybody will feel the pinch of the criticism from the public and ourselves. Yeah. When you come to LTA, I know you won't put you on me too, but don't go out there yet. Go ahead.
Myself will deal with you because you know, I ended my service government as Deputy Minister for Technical Service and Ministry of Post, so I know a lot about that.
Yet. So for now,
thank you, Baka. Actually, it was through you, Ben, getting to me on the phone on the situation in Painesville, and we expected this because I've been at the Ministry of Internal Affairs and Urban Affairs, so I work with almost all the cities. I know the province, and I work with other cities in Africa, at least during the Habitat 3 time. I work with at least 45 African cities, and so some of the things they do, they're different from our issue here. We have just started, and one thing we don't have in place yet is the organization of a city. We limit the city work, municipal work, to solid waste collection. Then, if you stick it there, it's going to be a problem because the organization from the primary waste collection up to the secondary waste collection to the landfill or the dump site, or you may call it, then it becomes problem. So we're going to reach all of those areas. Today, we have started the cleanup campaign, and we will not stop. Painesville will be clean. You talk about revenue. There's no amount of funds we can task people that can be able to take care of the running of the city. There are a few things in the local government law that's very necessary for the city. We have been engaging the.
I get up. You said no amount of fund what
can be able to take care of the running of a city.
Yeah, but you will get some money to.
Yeah, I agree. You say the same thing you're saying. That's what I'm saying.
I see it. You try to dodge it.
No, we are going to find the people.
Garbage on the street.
We are going to find them, but we need more money to run the city, and that's where the local government act and the revenue sharing act give answer to the.
So what do you expect an announcement from the city of Painesville that anybody who throw garbage on the street?
The announcement will be done soon because we don't want to announce something that we will not follow. And then when the people see that type of thing, they will say, "Oh, the people can say things."
Investment.
So
task force. Task force.
That's action point. So
is the final point. Yeah, the final point. We are focusing on communication, enforcement, and the work. Because the last time you see to Dupo Road Junction, people don't dump there. When we clean the place, we assign our people there for enforcement. And that has to be done with manpower. Now, when we move the there from ERW Junction, we're going to assign people there. When you are caught dumping there, you're going to be arrested.
Okay.
So that is it. We are doing communication to inform the people what it is, enforcement, and work.
If you get update for all, please come next Saturday.
I will be here.
If up and down there, don't come. Robert, let's hear you. You find a spot next Saturday.
At least I want me. I was off in studio, so I'm here. And let me say this:
how do you feel about that picture that went viral, man?
Are you and I'm going? You forget what I'm saying.
You running behind the
which one? The one where they put down my face that I got put there on the car. That picture alone, you know why it did to me? It motivated me more to go in the street.
Exactly.
It motivated me more to execute the money given to Ambassador Boyka.
So,
without fear or favor, I will manage government assets to the fullest. I will retrieve vehicles. I got information on them. I know they have relocated some of them. My surveillance on them. Don't worry. In terms of retrieving of vehicles, within the next couple of days, you're going to see me outside in all of the communities and places with the support of Mr. Gregory Como, with my 2 ERU pickup well-armed men. I will be there. I want to leave GSA with a legacy in terms of the national fleet policy, which will include the modernization of GSA garage. As I was telling Stevie and others yesterday, we want to modernize that place so it can attract people from LTA, can attract people from NOCA, LCAA, youth and sports, so they can, most especially SOEs, like NASCOP and other places, they take their cars to private places because we don't have that modernization. But if they come to STA, GSA,
I don't agree.
and see how much
all these services. I mean,
yeah. How do we no. I also agree. I'm not saying 100%. At least we should get some. We should get some of those maintenance work. We can't. GSA, we're not able to repair all the government vehicles. We don't have that capacity.
Let's be sorry.
But the little that we're able to get, the modernization of our garage will help enhance GSA and promote the government national and international.
You'll be the next producer for the show next week Saturday to get a guest.
Please, yeah.
The president said he wants television station in all the counties. We need to find out from the LBS people, Fargo and LBS people, what have they started doing about that? Because that's a policy statement.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the 6 years,
but LTA 2 is inclusive.
So they have 3 different
regulators. We also put TV somewhere. Something wrong with you.
Ministry information. Technical services people can come in.
That Daniel Sanders.
Provide information around that. Fargon could come in. I'm prepared. My father used to do this radio thing. Simple English. So.
Larama, we'll talk about TV next, but the county meet. So next Friday, how much for the ticket? Let's know. Youth and sports, man.
So just speaking of from Robert's point, I know we'll talk about TV next week, but it's a good thing. Modernizing the garage. I hope that most of the staff will come from MVDC because we're doing auto mechanic and heavy duty mechanic and all that stuff. So
we also be buying job everything. So you see it. Now
talk about how you do MVDC. I mean, how you call it, VTC or vocational training.
Yeah, all the vocational training centers are on the youth sport. And we'll talk more about the bill that the president is working on for the creation of the TVET. Okay. But yeah, next Saturday is the county meet. We are beginning to see movement.
SKD.
The kickoff. The president, the chief patron of sport, is going to do the kickoff.
Imagine Lopa and Niba playing.
If I Lopa
play VP bar,
Lopa played a friendly match yesterday and they won. I think 0 or something. So yeah,
not joke.
I want
you want to play final? You want to be Lopa?
No, Sano going to the final though.
Sano came out.
Sano going to the final.
I want Sano
going to the final.
So I want Sano came out.
I'm happy that at least, and that's what Darlington is saying from Sino and Grange there. That at least we have a plurality of the country, in terms of the governance structure. So we can't just, where we had last regime, where everybody from, just one side of the country to change.
Yeah,
I see people here from Sino, from
Grange there.
That's okay. To have a plurality of experience.
So Liberians, stand up.
My man, look, it's been a great show, guys.
I mean, we will visit the play the last hour when they're all gonna bring that coming down for
the building. We see the building.
That building, here's the interesting thing about the building. That building it should have been just the first, second floor. So after a while, the late Archie William wanted a third floor. But then the structure, the foundation could not
support it.
So if that entire third floor is wood, that entire third floor outside that plank floor, how do you call the wall in the steel? Drywall. So you walk up there and then the roof is leaking. So as it rains, the water comes in the conference room. Many a time the people used to be having bucket in the conference room.
So Stephen, that your building is then competing with another building in Liberia, right on Dubo Road, in the curve there. Dubo Road after the market. There's a green building there, almost like with no window. That building and the building Stephen works from, they are competing for the ugliest buildings. So I mean that's in sense of
so what we gotta do. So we're hoping that we can get some funding in the budget to build a news. Because the thing about airport facility is there are too many regulations. You can't build certain structure. You can't, it gotta be certain design because of the airport facility. And then the wear and tear with the movement of the airplane, that shaking, everything happening. So that whole area there, we're looking for money to build a new structure. But Patrick has been a great show. I think it's good for us to come here every now and then to talk about the kinds of things we're doing in our respective entities. And one of the good things that I see happen is the fact that when you look across government, President Bwaka has made some significant gains that we often overlook. Bwaka has employed more, he has appointed more women than any other person in the history of this country. The average age of Bwaka's appointment is around 38 to 40, meaning that this government, this government is a very young government. And so he's looking at the future, and that future rests on our shoulder. Everywhere we go, everywhere we are sent, we should make a difference. Even if you're living there with just a simple legacy. I went to LCA, about 85% of the people don't even have, about 90% of the staff who should be doing technical work don't have computers, don't have laptop, nothing. They just show up. Those little things that can help improve the working condition in the place. Those are things we can do. And by the time we leave from this entity and somebody else goes there, they will begin to see the kind of reform we talk about when we say, let's rescue this country.
Thank you, gentlemen. What a great show. Thanks so much. I didn't think that it was going to be this way, but we all did well. And I know that more guests will be here next Saturday. So we hope that we can reach out to the various communities. We hope that our people can reach out to us. Some of the hard questions, some of those who, I can hear people say, the government official hard to get, but these are the government officials here. And if you can get to them, you can get to them. Nobody has security. Nobody pumping all their shoulder here. Everybody tries to. And that's how we want to live our lives.
And finally, to my guy, I saw a guy that told me on the segue from Yegepa. I see the guy, Yegepa guy, how are you? My colleague from back there in Yegepa.
All right, so some kind of restaurant we'll go to together to, some local business will get money today. Thanks so much. We have to take leave of you now. Play the Lofa song. We won't play Nima. We won't play Nima in the final. We ready? Go ahead. Play the song. The Lofa song. Bye-bye.